Yeah, Yasser and I are gonna basically take on some puzzles here. Survival mode.
Get that yoga thing going.
Survival meaning that we only have 3 lives, kind of like a video game.
Right.
But there's no timer, so we basically want to take as long as within reason, as long as we want.
Right.
To make sure we get the right answer.
Yeah.
And then move on to the next one.
Right. Okay. Let's do it.
Let's start it off
Let's
here.
do it. Now I have to admit that when we did this some time ago, you were just cranking us to 40 without too much help. I'm assuming Queen B6.
Yeah.
Is
I'll usually give just a very brief comment on each of them, and you can as well. But they are, a lot of the beginning ones are quite simple. Like here, as you mentioned, we have a hanging bishop, and we're also in check. So whenever you're in check, if you're doing puzzle and you just move your king, it's like,
that's wrong.
What am I accomplishing?
That's wrong. Yeah.
So I already know I have to deal with the check in an aggressive way. So
and capturing the checking piece is an automatic then.
Yeah.
And here, because our pawn is on F3 and the white king is essentially a stalemate, we know we're looking for a check, which will lead to a checkmate.
Yeah.
So this one's very easy as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one move that threatens anything, and we're also down material with a pawn about to queen. So we know that even if we win a whole rook here, we actually might still lose. Yeah. So it's like, you have to be looking for mate.
Exactly.
Period.
Right. Okay, similar story here. We're just down so much material, and we're being threatened with mate in 1, queen d2. It has to be a back rank mate. This isn't a Hail Mary pass. This is absolutely required.
Yeah.
Same story again.
I think you can really use that logic to get a lot of the early ones right. Like if anyone else is doing it as well, because if you're outmatched this much material, then you know winning any of that or part of it or most of it is still not enough to win. Yeah. So you almost know immediately that you're looking for mate.
Exactly. By the way, those were like echoes of one another.
Yeah, that was like the exact same theme.
And a knight.
Exact same theme, back to back to back, baby.
And something similar going on here as well. We're down material.
Yeah.
And we're being threatened with mate. Anything passive, we resign.
Yeah.
So we have to look for a mate ourselves, and there it is. Rook A1.
Yeah. I think I can put that in the same theme as the other ones. I feel like it is. So absolutely. Really, almost every puzzle so far
has been a mate.
Has been the exact same idea.
Forcing, with the exception of the first one, which was a check. We had to capture a piece that was
capturing that's right.
Attacking our king.
That's right.
Something similar here, and Queen G2 mate.
Yeah.
Is.
I like to look at the material, and if I'm down material, I have massively, let's say, or I either have to win significantly more than I'm down,
right,
or I have to mate. Exactly. And it usually gives you a clue right off the bat, like what you're looking for.
Okay, yeah, okay, it's getting
the defenses are coming up.
Yeah, popped up a bit. Here, of course, we would love to give Queen H7 checkmate. That would be the dream come true. Unfortunately, the knight on F6 stops us in our track, but we can eliminate the knight with check. We will do, and then proceed.
Exactly.
Okay.
I actually have to pause.
No, we actually have to pause. Okay, so although material's rather evenish, we are losing b7 with a check, which convinces me at least we should be looking at white's king. And I'm seeing that there's a check on d1 followed by a check with a knight.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I could be winning a queen by a, what do you call it? Skewer. Or maybe a king.
Right.
So queen d1 has my vote.
Because I think at this point, nothing's hanging. So you can't win any meaningful material.
Right.
And a check alone is not enough. So I feel like you have to find a way to involve all the pieces.
That's right.
And so this is a nice way to do it.
Right.
Check and okay. They don't make you play it out, but
actually, I thought it was an important point. I would have played king e3.
Yeah.
And inviting the guy to win my queen, which would have been wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, what do we got here? Mate in 1.
Well, there's no sugarcoating this one, folks.
Yeah, I know.
That is just a mate in 1. And the nice thing is it's not very tempting to trade queens when we're down material, so it's also hard to not find that.
Here, I think what the puzzle is really trying to teach us is to look at our attacking pieces. The bishop on c7 is kind of camouflaged, like it's hidden, if you will.
Yeah.
And, well, there is a mate on h2.
Yeah, it's supporting the queen. And we're also in a situation where we're down a piece, and our queen is attacked. So simply put, if our queen is attacked and we can't regain the piece immediately or win any material, can't take the bishop, we've got to deliver a mate, or there's no solution to the problem. So
the problem is without a solution. This pattern is good for like 2 or 3 puzzle rush wins. This one again, it's always this mate that comes to f8. You just like eat your way to the f8 square.
Agreed. Like once you know this pattern, and I encourage everyone to pay attention to it,
because it's worth 2 or 3.
Yeah, this is worth like 100 puzzle elo.
Right.
It's the check, supported by your piece, and then of course they'll have your queen in front, so that you feel bad maybe about giving this check, but
no,
you proceed and you back rank mate, giving up your queen. That will for sure be seen again.
Right.
Classic puzzle rush problem.
If it's not seen again, I will be. I'll be angry. I want my money back.
Yeah. This one.
Not much to say.
We're down a rook. So again, I don't see how I can win more than a rook here. So I know I'm looking for mate, and the only 2 pieces that coordinate at all here are those 2, and we'll be able to deliver a mate just like that.
This one actually does have some tricky effects, because sometimes the mind plays tricks with you. So when you have a rook on g8 and the king is on the h file, of course, you just bring the other rook over and you checkmate. But in this case, you can't do that, because the rook on h6 stops the rook from coming to h3. So you start to look for something else, and then wait a minute, there's a pawn on h4. You can't take the rook. So there is. Boleslavsky once did that in a candidates tournament where he made like one of the few blunders.
Like he basically played rook h2 without the pawn or something.
I'll have to look it up. It's like that theory. It's in theory and practice where he made this illusion.
Like the weird thing is that it's basically a back rank mate, just rotated.
Nice.
There.
Okay, this is a pattern we should all have hardwired into our minds. It happens so often in queen endings where the defending side, the king is exposed.
Yeah.
And thanks to that exposure, you can oftentimes drive the king up the board and checkmate the king. And this is just a classic moment to do that.
Check and forces this, and we'll use the rest of our pieces here.
Now the reason the queen is on a7 is because you might think any check wins.
Yeah. That's the good thing about puzzles, is there are never 2 perfectly good solutions.
Exactly.
Or it's a bad puzzle.
Here you're required to find that move. 14. I quit. I'm done.
We're gonna take our wins.
Exactly, where we can get them. Well, here,
Yaz, you can slide in, buddy. You're You're right on the edge there.
I'm on the edge.
Yeah, people want to see you.
Right.
If I'm cut off, I don't think that's an issue.
Well, we can test it. There's a balcony and 3 floors down.
What did you say?
Here, this one also. You see that the bishop on b5 is just defended once. It's attacked by a queen. If we could get rid of the defender, the knight, take it up. Oh, looky. Knight takes c3. You can do that. No checkmates.
No.
So no reason to look.
And material is even, which causes me to think it's a more win material problem.
Exactly.
And we only really have one aggressive piece here.
Oh, look
the tricky, yeah.
Look at that.
Well, I mean, we're never really gonna make a mistake of taking with the king there.
Okay. And this, of course, is always a classical problem whenever we can bring our queen to squares like h5 and h4 with a gain of tempo without losing time.
Check and mate.
This looks like a back rank mate.
Yeah, again, like we're down so much material here.
Yeah, we're not gonna go.
It's impossible.
Right.
You could probably take this queen off, and materially it would be balanced. Like
right.
So you know you have to mate here.
Exactly. And you just have to avoid queen e8 in that case. Okay, now this is a little tricky. The knight is protected. That's very good. Black's king doesn't have a lot of squares with the bishop covering, as you're showing. The pawn on c2 is killing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely killing, which requires us to find rook b7. There's just no other choice. And wherever the king moves, it's going to be mating on the next turn.
And it's almost required to perform checks here. Because
we're getting killed.
We're getting killed. Like there's
totally.
As soon as black gives a check, you feel the game's gonna end.
Right. Exactly so.
Chose this one, and if we just pay attention to all the available squares, all we need is a check at this moment. So
and if he had chosen e8, we would have had e7 as our mating device.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward too. 8 and 2.
And again, this one to me just comes from like the fact that you need mate, not just check. But
6, a7.
You're getting killed here.
Totally.
So you have to activate all your pieces, and you have to be playing near the white king.
Right. Did we get toaster to?
We got some toast.
Lots of gifts.
The toaster is making toast right now. 5 gifted subs. Thank you.
Toaster in the town.
TH Toaster for that. Necklace Baka, thanks for the 9 months with Prime. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Just getting started here. We're about to hit 20. That's a nice little early milestone, Yasser.
Yes.
And it looks like we got a friendly one for number 20.
Yeah, like
as well.
Deep thoughts. Because again, I'm seeing we're getting killed. I'm looking at rook e7 and queen f6, and I just don't like the consequences whatsoever of allowing rook e7. Any defensive move like rook e8 is not a good puzzle rush.
Yeah.
So bishop on a6, queen on c4 makes me see the diagonal is protected and as a mate.
Yeah, and it's the move that I might play instinctively, but then notice later that the rook's actually helping. So it's like I might do it anyway and be like, oh wait, that's actually mate.
Yes, exactly.
Check and mate.
So we hit our first
solid
milestone of 20, right? Like, but easily. So,
the whole chat could have hit that as well.
Like our joy knows
no
bounds. Doubt. Okay, well this is a nice one actually, because again, White's king is in such a box where any check essentially that doesn't lose material will be made. So what piece can we check with? The rook? Unfortunately not. Rook b4. First of all, it gives up the mate, and rook a3. The rook has. So the only other is the knight.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We're on a roll and we're cruising. Well, anytime I see, it's funny where I think as a grandmaster, I'm hardwired to Fianchetto positions. I played Fianchetto positions all my life. All my career, and whenever I see a Fianchetto position where the bishop isn't on g7, as in this case, I automatically start looking at the dark squares.
If your bishop's not going to be on your Fianchetto diagonal, then my
bishop is going to be on right up your business.
Yeah. Right. So we're looking at how to make this work.
Exactly.
And immediately it simply doesn't.
Right.
So basically,
we're forced to trade first and then take the rook.
We have the precious on on h8.
The precious.
There we go.
Nice. So sometimes we have these puzzle rush survival things where we get like a clanker, a problem in the first 20. Like we lose a life early. It's like
that's the worst feeling.
That's the worst feeling.
When you're doing survival and you drop.
Right.
It's like a video game when you lose to like an early level or bad death.
Just throwing it all away. Yeah. And so far, we've gotten all the easy ones. Now, this one is actually much easier than it would appear, because once again, breaking down the material, we're way behind.
Yeah.
We're down a rook. So anything we do has to be checkmate.
Yep.
Or we have to win back serious material. Now here we can actually take a queen. There's no checkmates.
No. There's so many pieces that can block or interpose checks.
Exactly. So we're not going to get any checkmates. But here we can take a queen. And then instantly, from a geometry perspective, our queen should be drawn to the square G4 because it hits bing, 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 bing. It just hits 3 pieces at once.
The tenders.
The tenders.
As you like to say.
Well, we were going to get to the tenders later. We got to jumped a few steps there, buddy. And we get to pick up a rook.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do a very, very bad thing. I've fallen in love with this tea. I'm just going to give myself a quick refill.
Some more throat action?
Yeah, just to, so I don't sound like Prizzy's on.
And what you're saying is that you trust me to handle the 23 category?
I'll be back before 30.
Okay. I'll make sure to go slow then.
Yeah. Give a long-winded explanation for each problem. I'll be right back.
And this pawn is on G6.
And the pawn said to the pony.
Well, this one here, or should I say, this one here, G4 to F2 looks like a pretty damn good move. The way I would go about solving this is, once again, I always start with the material though, guys. Really, like, I see 4 minor pieces. I see an extra rook on the board. White is up a rook, 2 pieces. Like, it's very, very, very unusual for in a tactic for you to be able to win more material. Because remember, if you're in the hole for like a queen and 2 rooks material, you need to win a queen, 2 rooks, and then something extra to actually be ahead at the end of the problem. So what I'm saying is that if the material deficit is so great and you're looking at a puzzle, you can usually tell yourself, okay, like, I'm not going to win that much material back within reasonable time. So you're looking for a checkmate. And I think it just helps to know that, like, going into the puzzle, it's useful. It'll usually point you in the right direction. So for me, I can register all that pretty quickly and say, okay, I have to hunt the king here. Knight F2 check forces the king to go to the only square. All these are covered. So king would have to go to C2. And then maybe tempting to introduce a pawn into the attack, but more prudent would be queen takes D3, once again forcing the king to only 1 square. You never usually want to let the king run away. If you can keep the king contained when you're chasing it into a mating net, that's always preferred. So knight F2 check. Queen takes D3 check, and queen D1 mate will get the job done. All right, this one. These bishops look very hard for me to actually capture or win. I'm also down some pawns here. Not sure, it looks like maybe 2 pawns I'm down. But if I can't really, like, it doesn't look possible for me to really win this material. And I am down material, so unless I can find a magical way to attack one of these pieces and take it for free, I'm also probably looking for mate. This pawn is defended. I have 2 checks that stand out to me. Knight d8 might be the first one I calculate because it's the safe one. I mean, I know we can play knight d6. If you notice, there's a pin. But everyone's brain will register knight d8 as the safer move. So I would probably consider that first, knight d8. But after king c8, black's attacking both pieces. I don't see the follow-up. So then I start looking at knight d6 check. And I like it more because it stops king c8. King doesn't have anywhere to go except backwards. And if it goes to a8 or b8, I think we follow up with rook d8 and basically deliver effectively a back rank mate because the knight covers the only escape square b7. So this looks like knight d6, rook d8, and the last move. Rook takes. C8. This one looks like a very nice theme. An important thing to note, once again, is the material. That's right. Start by counting the damn material. We're missing a bishop here. Right? We're down material to start off the problem, which means we don't just need to reclaim that much material, but we need some more on top of that. Right? So this knight is undefended. I might look about tactics there, but clearly, I want to use my pieces. And with 2 rooks doubled here, I'm absolutely looking at d8, and we have a nice tactic, removing the defender. Knight takes f6 with a check, and then there'll be a full rook hanging. So here it's an exchange, and here I win an entire rook. And if I start down a piece and I win a rook, I will end up material. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Check, take, and although we didn't calculate this one, it's not really a bother. The main thing to do is not step in front of our doubled rooks here. And there we go.
Easy peasy.
Hey, what's up there? What's up there, King Nidhogg? Thanks for the resub. 57 months. Appreciate it, buddy. We got Yasser in town.
Right.
And I didn't mess up.
Not only didn't you mess up, look, you've elevated his entire.
I've elevated our status.
Right. Wonderful. Nicely done.
There we go. And you came back at a good one, Yasser. This is no stress.
No stress.
You know, we've got the king boxed
totally
in
boxed
here.
In. All we need is a check.
A check is mate by force because the king doesn't have any moves.
Now, he should not move the pawn because our queen would be captured, except it's checkmate.
Yeah, check and mate is
check and mate. Which convinces me d5, d4's got to be good.
There's a nice mate there.
There is nice.
Nuge, thanks for the 50 months. 50 Retrodictions, gifting us up, and Wasistas, thanks for the bits, buddy.
Wasistas. This is great. You were talking about these video clips.
Yeah.
There's this great video clip of this little girl. She's having her dinner, and her mouth's got pasta spaghetti all over her mouth.
The sauce.
She's going, and there's Molly the cat. And there's Bernie the dog. And while she's explaining all the house animals, her parents have switched her dinner. They've taken away the macaronis. Yeah. Something like a salad. Right? So then she comes back. She looks down on her plate. Goes, what is this? I mean, that just makes this hand movement. Like, what is
she
this?
She knows immediately.
Yeah, right. Like somebody stole her food.
Did they even look alike? Like no. Okay.
And then the father just lost it. I mean, he had to turn off the video. I mean, just like, what is this? What are you serving me?
Pitiful attempt.
Exactly. What is this? Crack me up. Okay, similarly to our previous one where it was a one-move mate, we're really grateful at the fact that White's king is totally boxed in. All we need is a check. Now, knight f2 and knight e5 are both stopped, and this bishop, the bishop on d7 needs to work.
Yep,
needs to perform. Yeah,
with a king like this, so exposed and just so many attacking pieces near it, I think you can kind of get the hint that you're definitely looking for a mate.
Right.
I find it helpful to start the problem by just kind of like reminding yourself what squares are not available for the king. And it's like, okay, there's only one square left. So, taking control of that with bishop b5 and delivering the check at the same time, pretty good deal.
Totally.
There we go.
Oh,
a nice suggestion for you, Yasser.
What's that?
Mulled wine with extra honey is good for that throat, Yasser.
Right. No, seriously, anything with honey when you've got a sore throat,
And it would just be a shame if you had to have wine. You poor thing. I tell you, anything for good health.
Yes, exactly. The medicinal purposes. There was this scene in the movie with Winston Churchill. So Winston Churchill, as the Prime Minister of England, has to have this annual exam.
Yeah.
Where he's got to pass his basic fitness, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a fit man.
So I've heard.
So Winston, his doctor, writes out, like Winston needs to do more exercise and things like of this nature. But he also writes out that he would recommend a bottle of wine a day.
Oh yeah.
For Winston to keep him on an even keel. And Winston's like to his secretary, keep that doctor on retainer. That's my kind of a guy.
I need that report every month.
Every month. That's my guy. And there's a scene too where he's having his meeting with the Crown, and Winston has already finished a bottle of scotch at lunch. And it says, "Well, Winston, how do you do this? How do you manage to drink so much in a single day?" Winston looks at the Crown and says, "Practice."
Well practiced.
Practice. Okay, this one we should all burn into our minds. This is a part of our hardwired, and we need to have, I would say, 500 patterns. Not that many.
Yeah, you mean the ones that are just second nature.
They come to you instantly, and you could execute them in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
This is one of them. Whenever the queen and the bishop are working together, as this example shows, we should see the mate instantly. The mate should be in 3 moves. The bishop covers f7 and g8. The queen covers g7 and h8. But if we go queen h8 check, which is a very attractive move, we only provoke the king to e7 where it would attack our bishop.
Mm-hmm.
We would not do ourselves any favors with the move queen h8. But queen f6, on the other hand, is an instant. Like, you just see that, and you go, oh, I get it.
Feels good.
The king has to go to e8. We go f7, protected by the bishop. King has to go to, we go to d7, protected by the bishop. And that is just something that we have to hardwire ourselves with.
Yeah, like queen and bishop, you just don't play queen h8 because you know that the only way queen and bishop tend to work well together, coordinate is with like the bishop exactly supporting these 2 squares and like getting your queen on them as soon as possible. So basically queen f6 sort of leads to a force mate here.
You actually made the moves. And it was kind of funny because I thought we had already, and then you actually made the moves, and it was like, dude, we already done that. We've already done.
Yasser, you have your buddy Dr. Lord Mayonnaise in the chat.
Nice. Thank you for joining us.
I think we previously had guys like Maprel, Nicola, and Maprel came in, Nicola came in, but Nicola made sure that 1,000 bits for Aman, 10,000 for Yasser.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Lord Mayonnaise, I feel like he's done something similar. I see 5 gifted subs for Aman. And then I see 25 for Yasser.
Oh, nice. There's a theme here.
It's funny how that's working out.
I mean,
thank you, Dr. Lord Mayonnaise. Yasser is indeed 5 times as man.
Well, 10 times 5, but who's counting? Come on. Who's counting? Here again, it's one of those things, it's not a pattern so much as geometry.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I see exposed kings, I start looking for checks. Like this moment, queen c6 to h1 checkmate would have my immediate attention.
Indeed.
It's not happening because the diagonals are full.
Yeah.
Shoot, I cannot checkmate the white king to h1, but I can check the king in front on h6. No, I cannot.
Yeah.
The bishop protects the square. Geometry. Take the bishop first, then check the queen. And it's all happening with check because I'm taking the check, checking the king, taking back the rook, protecting my bishop. And unless there's something else, right? Like, is this a deceitful...
Exactly. Unless there are holy spirits at play.
Right.
The nice thing to note is that if there's a piece ever like covering a checking square,
right,
then if you remove the piece and it's replaced with something else, the checking square will always fork whatever that was.
Exactly.
And yeah, as you said, there's no checks here, no checks here. And if we're not giving a check here, I'm not very convinced in general because it's dead even material.
Exactly. And so my own king's a little bit exposed. I mean, I only have one on as a protection.
I am a big fan of what we're about to see, Yasser. Yeah. I think this is, would you say it's one of the 500?
Yes. Yeah. It absolutely is one of the 500s. And again, this should be really hardwired into our brains. Obviously, the rook on h8, the bishop on d6, doing a nice job coordinating on h2.
I feel like the first move of the problem, everyone can get.
Yeah, we got to go bishop takes h2 check. Now, after king h1, we start to become aware that there's a knight hanging on c3. So we start thinking like, okay, we'll withdraw the bishop with check. Then we'll take a knight and we'll be threatening the mate and life is good. And we start going down that direction and we start looking for something more decisive. And there is something more decisive. Yes. Ooh.
Are you pointing to...
Bishop g1.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to the comment that says, I haven't seen a stronger battery since Eric's dildo fell off at the TSA line. You meant you were looking at the comment above it.
I was looking at the comment 2 below it.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh, bishop g1.
Yeah.
I missed the dildo. I missed the TSA. I missed the...
Sorry, I
missed the shakedown. And, a big shout out to the good folks at TSA. If it wasn't for them, I'd have no sex life at all, right? Damn, they're good.
This was a little tricky, Yasser.
Right?
Because, you know what? If I take the c3 knight right now,
yes,
I'm actually up material.
Correct.
And we've always used the rationalization like, oh, you don't take material because you're not going to reclaim as much material as you are down.
Right.
So you look for mate. But here's an example where I think you actually, the solution is more of a mate.
Yeah.
But there's a full piece that can be taken safely, like relatively safe. So I think this one is pretty tricky. You just have to know the pattern.
Exactly.
You just have to
know the pattern, you don't look at queen takes e3 or bishop e5, discover check. But rather you recognize that you want to bring your queen to h2. The bishop's in the way.
Yeah.
So get the bishop out of the way so you can bring your queen to h2. And to do that, you have to play bishop g1, which isn't intuitively obvious, right?
And it's a weird thing because, let's say the rook on h8 was attacked by like a bishop on d4.
Yeah.
Then bishop g1 sort of proves itself as the correct move because then you could lose your rook
and then
still deliver the mate, which is why the bishop is on g1.
Exactly. Nice.
All right. Well, I see we're down material, and I also see everything is very well defended. So I'm thinking mate. I'm already
once again.
Yeah. I'm leaning mate.
Yes, and we see this beautiful back rank mate. Rook. Oh, it's not so beautiful. Rook e1.
Yeah, exactly.
Rook d1. And then we start looking for a follow-up, and then we find it.
And there's not that many on the board, so
right.
I think the main thing is like not to get too hasty and start with the queen.
Exactly.
And like
allow rook d1, and then it's all not coordinating anymore.
So we want to make sure to use all of our pieces, and simply like there's only one check, everything's defended, so check, and there's no blocking because it's pinned, and a free rook with mate.
Exactly.
There we go.
That particular problem is awkward because sometimes there's a black pawn on c3.
Right.
So you think queen d2 check. As queen e3. And you go, okay, which one is the difference? And it turns out that e3 is the right square. Why? Because when the king goes to b1, you go queen b6 check and queen b2 mate.
Right.
And it tricks you into playing queen to d2.
That's the thing. When you've got all these patterns in your head, and you should.
Right.
You also have to think to yourself, like, they can contradict sometimes.
Right.
So you have to pick the right. Pick the right one.
Conflict. Okay. This looks like it's actually just right out of the theory books.
Yeah, this does look like just a mistake, opening mistake.
Right?
Like a Grunfeld.
Exactly. So here we see we're 2 pawns down.
Briefly.
This
would be rather unremarkable, just to take.
Truly. Yeah. And he moves with the bishop. Knight takes d4 would have my attention, but after castles, I might think, well, where is my compensation?
Mm-hmm.
I might find it after knight b5, but that can't be the solution. It can't.
It's long-winded.
Oh, yes. Until we start to see rook c1.
Mm-hmm.
And we start to say, okay, the bishop on d7 is undefended. Pardon me. Bishop on c8 is undefended because black hasn't castled yet.
Mm-hmm.
So rook c1, he's going to take our bishop. We'll take his queen. He'll take our rook. But then there's going to be 2 bishops on the c file that are vulnerable, and we can go queen c2 or queen c1.
I don't think it really matters. Yeah,
that would be gross if it. But I do think rook c1 is our
our starter.
Our starter.
Yeah, I think anytime. I mean, the opening looks very normal. Sometimes puzzles, they just look a little fishy when you see the position. You're like, oh, something's up here. But this one honestly looks like a very regular game, and so I think paying attention to the fact that the king is still in the middle, I think a huge percentage of tactics that happen in the opening phase are due to the uncastled king.
Agreed.
So that's like a good place to start your witch hunt. And
castles.
A bit of a simpler reply.
Exactly.
There we go.
Ooh.
So this position, first of all, we're threatened with mate in 1, and if I'm doing a quick count, temporarily, very temporarily, we're down a piece this night.
Yes.
So if I'm down a piece and mate's threatened, I'm thinking we gotta act fast.
Real fast. I agree with that. The queen on h3, although it's very, very distant to white's king.
Yeah.
It's in the neighborhood. I mean, we've got checks on d3. We've got checks on b3.
It's fast moving too.
Right.
It can get over in a jiffy.
Right. So I start to think about queen b3 check. Mm-hmm. And after takes, I say, well, I give myself a solace that I have a perpetual check.
And I know we're doing a tactic, but if this was a chess game, like a real chess game, I would honestly calculate that and be like,
me too.
Okay, if I see nothing else, I'm playing that.
I got a bailout.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So then I start to think, okay, if I check with my queen, I've got a perpet. If I check with the rook and he takes the rook, well, I got a mate.
Yeah.
That's super easy.
Too kind.
But if I check with the rook, he's not going to take the rook. That's the problem. He'll move his king. And then I'm facing mate on c7. My rook is hanging. Oh. Then I see rook takes a2 check.
And he doesn't have any more of the board to keep declining.
He can't go further.
He can't go any further to the right.
He's actually got to take it. Then I can go back on a3, and then I can bring my queen to b3. I can swing my queen around.
And gain entry that way.
And again, that's a one of those 500 patterns that you just know because you played chess long enough to see these patterns.
Yeah. And thank you to the rook.
Exactly.
For taking our last square.
Right. Call a friend.
There we go.
Whoa. Right?
Yeah, I think this is always... this looks like a puzzle where, you see the bishop trapped in, you see the king trapped in.
Right.
And you can also see that you're down material.
Right.
So you're thinking, mate, like I gotta get this sucker on the back ring. Right. So
but this is like S-chess Siamese. You're white. You say to your partner, "Give me a hawk."
Yeah, exactly.
I have a hawk. Hawk is mate.
Right there.
Right there. Hawk is mate. But you're right. This pawn on e6, and you start thinking mate, and there's this absolutely unbelievable.
Need this here.
Right. The unbelievable game is MVL versus Ding Liren.
Mm-hmm. I still remember, and I've even looked at it semi-recently.
Right.
In the cover.
I looked at it with MVL. We were at a party. We were all a little bit inebriated.
I'm sure that's what he loves to do at parties. And look at that position again.
Yes. And like everybody at the party, it was more oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
From one chess game. Ooh la la. Yes, and here, just as Aman was showing, you need to make a checkmate with the rook, and rook takes b7. You go, well, what are the repercussions? Rook a2 check.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you don't have to go up the board. You can retreat to b3 and not allow a rook trade on the b file.
And do you think this is now past the problem? Do you think that after this, the puzzle will end, or will it play rook b2 and knight c4 and ask us whether we're going to go back to b3? What do you think?
It won't end.
It won't. You think it will ask that?
Yeah, I think after king b3, it will ask us rook b3.
What do you guys think in the chat?
But it's
because it's still relatively early,
right?
But I feel like if you take that and after rook a2 play king b3, I feel like that's like not enough proof. So will it end, or
I think it's gonna quiz us.
It's gonna ask us that question. Right?
I do.
Because the funny thing is, like, b3 was the safe square in the first instance. So after the knight goes to c4, you might be like, oh, let me go to my safe square.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what our.
So I'll play this.
Yes.
No.
It didn't even play rook a2 and then rook d7.
Okay, well,
d2.
Whoever said no is correct. This is a sports betting. Wow. All the no bettors just won.
Just won. Now we got to parlay this into, okay. First of all, why didn't he take on a2 and then play rook d2?
I don't know.
Like, that's weird. I didn't see rook d2.
Because now the answer is probably going to be rook d8. Takes, and mate. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
So we play knight f7. Okay, so we want to play rook b8 and mate.
But there's
that's
rook
the
d8.
problem. So knight f7, rook to d8.
Yeah.
Now we have to take it. That was the end of the problem.
Underwhelming.
Womp, womp, womp. Hey, hold on. How much material are we down?
Lots. The answer is way too much.
Okay. So whatever we do, it's not going to be grabbing material. It's going to be going for the throat. Checkmate.
Yeah, that's right.
So that means that we got to look at forcing moves like checks first. So rook a1 check, king b6. Kind of feels like the end of the party.
Yeah, king b8 as well. Same story.
King b8. I was half chasing bishop b7, but immediate checks don't impress.
Yeah.
The quiet move, queen c7, seems to come with a very dramatic effect because we're threatening checkmate two different ways. Rook a1 and queen b7.
Yeah, the thing, I would register this for sure as one of those 500 patterns, but like when you have the king on the side of the board, you have the option to check it almost all the time.
Right.
But taking away the squares that it returns to first, and then knowing you have the check in the bag is a great, like, I think that pattern wins so many times.
Agreed. The other thing is the immediate 6 check, right? So you start to think, immediate. If the king is forced to move, then you get to go queen to the 7th, or something like that. But here, b6 check, knight takes b6, queen a2, king b8, rook takes b6. We won a piece, but we lost the war because we'll get mated. So I think it's queen c7.
Yeah, and we're threatening mate in 1 to start.
Yes,
I think the important, or the line that will happen is, knight c5, rook a1, knight a6, where there's a hanging queen.
Yes.
Mate on b7 is not hanging, but the a6 knight is. So will you be greedy and take the queen when there's actually mate on the board?
Exactly. That makes it even easier. I mean, because I think Rook A1 was at least as powerful a threat.
Like, this is just...
No.
Too easy.
Too easy. Guys are too easy. Again,
Speaking of too easy.
One of the 500 for sure. We talked about the queen and bishop coordinating. It's nice to have the queen close to the bishop. The bishop often helps us check as a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is true with the knight. The knight and queen coordinating together very nicely here. So we have a check on b3. We're protected.
And important to say, I think we have to operate fully with checks. Because as soon as a check happens, we're not winning.
Mate on f4.
Yeah,
yes.
sorry. Exactly.
And, well, a1 equals queen. a1 equals knight. So, yes.
A1 equals knight, yeah.
So we have to hit right away. And, well, we don't have that many hits. Queen b3 looks it.
I don't know why, but as soon as we realized that black could actually make a queen but still lose, I was just imagining some sort of like, short story film where the angry beginner opponent is like, oh man, I've never got a chance to promote a pawn before. Let me get this one to the last rank. Like, give me an extra turn. Give me an extra. And the guy's so confident, like, I'm gonna crush him anyway. He says, all right, sure. Yeah. Go ahead, promote your pawn.
Go for it.
And he's, smoking his cigar, having a good time. And then the guy's hustling him, of course, and promotes to a knight. And then, and to his surprise, his checkmate is no longer there.
On the board. Okay, we were talking about American culture and Prizzi's honor and stuff like that. But we'll talk about chess culture for a second. And I will bet that neither yourself
you're already right,
or the chat, anybody in chat, will be able to tell me.
I think you've got to be wrong. I know I won't, but there's got to be a chatter out there.
No.
So let's hear it.
No. There was a period of time in the history of chess when there was such a thing as called tavern chess. Tavern chess, which was very, very big. I mean, really a big deal. Bravo, and a made up. So, can anybody tell me what tavern chess is or was?
What is tavern chess?
What is tavern chess? And your story about the beginner. Please, let me just have fun.
It reminded you?
Yeah, of what is
Shades of tavern chess?
Yeah, shades of tavern chess. Drunk chess. No idea.
Chess with drinking is a great start.
Yeah, see, I told you. No idea what is tavern chess. Strip chess, no clue. You got it. No clue. I agree, no clue. So I was doing chess duels, a chess bowl course, and I had my buddy, Jürgen Stinkler, on the show. And Jürgen has the biggest chess book collection in the world.
Is that measured?
Pardon?
Is that measured? Like,
yeah,
does he just say he has, or is that people have validated that?
Yeah, tens of thousands of volumes of books, and much more than the Royal Dutch Library, much more than, for example, Cleveland. I mean, and he's got duplicates of like everything, and he has building for extras. And he was telling me about tavern chess, and I didn't know what tavern chess was. So one of the things is you oftentimes hear many religions prohibit chess. Like, chess is bad for you.
Really?
Oh, yes. You shouldn't play chess.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, like, I think the mullahs in Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, I think, banned chess.
I was going to say, didn't they invent it?
Yeah, they banned it.
Invented it and banned it?
India invented it, and Persia banned it. Yeah. But yes, and then, of course, in the Catholic Church, you have these dogmas about gambling and stuff. The problem with chess is people would use it to gamble. And that was kind of considered
That's what we do.
Yeah, right? That was considered like the devil's idle hands and all of that, right? So the idea is the guy would come into a tavern with a book, and he'd just lay out a study. Just a problem, right? Kind of like what you were saying about promote the pawn and, you know, like doing it like this. And he would say, okay, I'll bet you a copper, a penny.
Yep.
And on the outcome of the position. So that all of the punters would gather around, you know, and you know, like they would go like this.
Yep.
And he said, okay, I'll take the other side. And they would play their move. And then there would be a hidden resource. And the guy would collect all the coppers. Okay. And they would all be complaining and angry. Like, give us another one.
Yeah,
Give us another. No. I'll take your side this time. I'll take the very position that you guys gave up on. They were like, what? Yeah, one more copper, and I'll take. And there was this like hidden resource. So these studies had all kinds of inbuilt, things like A1 equals knight.
Yeah, small
to
intricacies.
Stop. Yes, under promotion and stuff like that. What do we got here?
Well, this looks like a
race.
It looks like one where you can sort of count it out, but I think when we're looking at the position with black, we just want to find you always want to find the absolute fastest way to promote your pawn.
Right.
Sometimes you have two pawns you can push, two ways to push them.
Right.
Here, I think, because white is sort of going after the pawn with the king,
quickly, yes,
is easy to think that we should do the same.
Right.
And I think we'll just simply find that even though we start, our pawn is further behind
than the G pawn.
So that's why I think this puzzle is just all about
this race.
And if you count it out, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and white is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6. And we start.
And we go first.
Right. So C5 has to be the answer.
Yep.
Yep. Forcing us to play on.
There we
go. It didn't force us to find Queen H5 check.
No. Probably because there are other moves that work.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something similar to what we've been talking about. We're down material. A lot of material, actually. The A pawn is passed. There's an exchange on the board. So whatever it is we do as black, we've got to win
forcing,
material or mating. In this case, our knight on G4 kind of gives us an edge.
Head start, yeah.
As to what we should be looking at.
And all these pieces are well defended anyway.
Right.
And way over there.
Right.
So first move I look at, honestly, is Queen F3.
Absolutely.
Because it's a check.
Me too. Yeah.
That's the first thing, and I notice the queen is there. So, maybe if I had a rook or something, I might think about a move like rook b8.
To distract the queen.
To bring the queen down, and then maybe deliver a mate. But
agreed.
Not available here, and I can see it doesn't work. So then I'm like, but what's the next best move to get close to that king? And Queen F2, threatening mate, which is actually unstoppable, mainly due to the funny placement of this bishop, which prevents lateral defense.
On the second rank, yes.
So I'm looking at Queen F2, and whether I win a pawn or not.
Somehow I thought we had gone to a level where we wouldn't have that easy.
Yeah, that was pretty friendly. Huh?
That was a friendly puzzle.
That was a friendly one.
Yeah.
Take care of differential forms. Have a good night, buddy.
Differential forms?
Well, he was the one who recommended the mulled wine with honey.
Ah, good man. Good man.
Stand up individual.
Absolutely. Okay. This one has actually
down right as you were touting the horn. Yeah, how easy it was.
This is too easy.
Well,
here I'm looking at a Queen G5 check.
Yeah.
Because we've chased the king, I assume, out of the king side.
Yeah.
And
we'll win a rook if the king goes back.
Yes. Queen G5, I win a rook. King E8, I take the rook.
The only thing I would really stop and think about is, like, after I win the rook, is there any trickery checks or ways that I can lose material back, but
I will
fortunately
always be able to block on D1.
Yeah, we have many ways to interpose, so looks pretty straightforward to me.
Me too.
This is number 40, so I think we're feeling good about this, because I guess the other thing with Queen G5 that has been sort of left unsaid is Rook F6, Queen G7.
Yes.
And after Queen G7, the king needs to remain tethered to the rook, the defense of the rook. And here, let's say bishop to F7 is probably the first move I would consider. I'm already saying that I could take the rook
because F6 is hanging.
Because then the F6 rook is hanging, so I have that in my pocket, and maybe check is also.
I like the fact that you have that in your pocket.
But I have a couple options there. That one looks good. And if rook F7 after we've taken with check, then what I'm thinking is that we can just re-perform the exact same trick with Queen G5 check.
Right.
But now we have rook H7.
Exactly.
With no G pawn.
The only sadness about the situation is after a move like Queen G5 check, something even more crunchy than just winning a rook. Sometimes that's all you get.
Yeah. So I'm feeling good about Queen G5, and to be honest, I don't see another check or idea. So
yes, exactly. Rook E1 didn't really impress.
That was friendly.
Another friendly. A lot of friendlies here. This looks friendly too.
It really does, yeah. While we are threatened with a few various things, it's also our turn, which is
very important. Very important. And the fact that the white king is so exposed. Open king on an open file. Rook E1, E8 check. King F3 is easy to calculate. And then we just start to look. Oh, kind of concerning that F7 is hanging. But we see rook E3 check.
Yeah, so I'm looking rook E8. The first thing is king D3. The rook is hanging, so
that's
good.
Terrible.
Bishop E6 is nothing. So king F3, rook E3.
Yes.
And then I, start to wonder, okay, if king G2, I've got my queen attacked, so is white's queen, but I can give a check.
Precisely so.
To
D2.
Save it.
Yes.
But then king G4 with the rook on E3.
Yes. That's the next.
More
step.
Consideration.
Right. But already at that point, I'm convinced I'm winning.
I'm convinced I'm on the right track, but
yes.
I feel like in that position, the right answer might even be just Queen D2, coming over to
mate.
Yeah, because this is
just one check.
It's just one check, and then
winning.
King H8.
You're not winning anything. You're not getting any closer to the black king.
But I really feel good about rook E8 check to start.
I don't even have to ask for it. I like it.
And if I move my queen now, I don't like that my rook is being forked.
Precisely.
So there's no, I could just go here, and it's oh, I'm crushing in every way.
Yeah.
But I don't like that.
Yeah, queen takes H6, similar idea. I'm crushing in every way, except bishop F7 will fork the rook. And this is the queen D2 check.
That's friendly. Queen D2, rook F2, takes, rook takes B3, check. So I think that's the last detail.
Yes. Fortunately for us, rook G3 check.
I calculated it in my head.
Because that would have been queen takes B3, but it might have been a forced mate. Rook G3, and then it would be no! We got swindled.
No way, dude.
We got swindled. Okay. Is this in our 500? Yes. Yes, this one is also in our 500. Again.
You think?
Yes. We definitely should have this hardwired. Queen and knight checkmate. Obviously, we're pawns behind. We don't want to trade queen. That's clear. So we want to give a check. Could queen c1 check or queen e3 check? Right? Those are the two considerations. Queen c1 check at first blush looks really strong because king f2 knight h1 mate. Until we realize it's not mate.
Not quite. The knight can't be here and here.
Exactly. You got to pick your poison. So queen c1 check and knight h1 is not mate, but queen e3 check. The king has no choice. It has to go to. And now queen d3 check. And we have a mate on e2 with the knight.
King e1, queen e2, king c1, knight e2.
We have to know
the
those
queen
patterns.
Covers the.
Yeah. I think that is a basic mating pattern that we have hardwired into our brains. Queen e3, automatic.
And queen c1, it's kind of the same thing as the queen and bishop earlier, that when you put the queen so far away from the knight, like they're just not going to coordinate. Like the pieces operate well.
Unless, and here's the unless the knight is defended by a bishop on c7. Queen c1 check,
sure.
Queen f1 is a mate kind of setup, right? But yeah, in this case, this is the mating pattern that you get yourself transfixed. Ooh, you see a pattern like a position like this, and you have an immediate aversion because I hate being under the threat of mating.
It's not a nice feeling.
No, it's not a nice feeling at all. So now I feel like I'm under a lot of pressure to be exceedingly accurate.
Yeah.
I must be accurate because of the mate in one threat.
And it can be taken, but we've got like queens hanging.
Yeah.
So this is, I treat the position as a position where I have to operate with checks.
And precision. That's correct. Yes. Now, my knight can move with a discover check. But I see that if the king ever goes to f6 and, runs for the hills.
Meaning that like nearly any check
that allows king
f6 will not work.
Correct. That will no me gusta, my queen.
Ergo.
Knight
our
E8.
check must cover f6.
Right. And either through e8 or e4. Now, e8. Oh, like I'm giving away that knight, like in a lot.
You do think about it because you're tempted by king takes e8, queen a8, and you're like
seeing some mating patterns,
something there.
Right.
But the other thing is knight e8, c5.
That's the problem.
And then you're probably gonna need that knight.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That.
So knight e4 stops king here. We know that if the king goes back, the rook drops with check, and especially because we still have our knight, we can be fairly sure we're going to deliver a mate momentarily.
So I was analyzing with my friend, senior master, Michael Shahadi, the father of Jennifer and Greg Shahadi. And somebody was watching, and we had a situation where, I said, well, we got to play knight e4. And as opposed to knight e8. And he said, well, it doesn't make any difference. And I said, well, in this case, I'll take the difference. I want to keep the knight. Give me the difference.
It does. I think the exact equivalent is like two people are responsible, let's say.
Responsible people? Oh, gosh. Okay.
No, are responsible.
I'm trying to create an image for myself. Go on.
Let's say for a $1 bill. Not bill because it can be split, but let's say $1 total.
Okay.
And, someone
accounting.
Yeah. So somebody gets the dollar and it's like, we should split this.
Of course.
But
we go Dutch.
The one who found it feels slightly more entitled to it.
Yes.
But it was like a pretty mutual thing, but you're just holding it. So you're the one, and it's like, okay, I'll take 51 cents and you take 49.
Right.
And it's like, why are yeah, and then it's like, hey man, why are we doing that? And then the guy who's got 51 cents is like, it's 1 cent, doesn't matter. And then it's like, Okay, if it doesn't matter,
I'll take
then I'll take it. Then I'll take 51 cents.
Right?
And then suddenly it matters.
It suddenly
so
matters.
if it's between 98 and 94 and it doesn't matter, I'll take the 94.
Right.
It might matter.
It might.
So 94 check.
Okay, but then we got to think about it seriously. Any king move, queen takes.
Yeah,
and it's gone.
That's not.
So
happening.
we're expecting 94 c5.
On c5.
Bishop takes c5.
Bishop takes c5.
To follow up with the aggression.
The same threats loom. No. So yeah, you have to take it.
With the knight.
Queen takes c5. And now there's
the king has to go.
Basically, one thing is true, which is like, let's say if you can take the rook, it has to be with a check.
Clear.
Because we're in the background, we're getting mated. So everything has to be check.
And precise, yeah. But once we've established that 98 is probably worse than 94, we go with 94.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with c5, bishop c5, knight c5, and we're sure we're on the right track. Yeah, we're sure we're on the right track. Queen takes c5 because queen c7 check, knight d7.
Mm-hmm.
And now we pause.
Yeah.
Once again, we don't have check on b5 because there is this menacing bishop on f1, but we do have a check on d6,
mm-hmm.
which is what we're going to go for because there's no other choice.
The only choice available.
Right. And we have another check. Now.
And I actually thought it was rather, interesting that they chose this way as opposed to the other way.
C8?
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure which one is more tricky to
because
to spot.
Rook c1, bishop c4, but
right.
queen c4, queen c6.
But I think this one is going to be exactly what we had talked about, which is that, of course I want to give this check.
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was going to play king e7. Because then
you didn't even test us?
Yeah, because then I was like, you have to find queen b7 and then
take the rook
with check. I thought that was a nice finish. But
we didn't even get tested.
I
feel shortchanged.
Jeez.
I feel disrespected.
Utterly.
Okay.
I spy with my little eye some meeting patterns. Certainly one of the 500.
Certainly.
I mean, this one looks to me like check. We can assume takes. I don't think it matters. Usually as white, you'd want to remove attacking pieces.
Clear.
So it could only be easier for me if you don't.
Right.
So rook f1 takes.
King g2, rook f2.
King g2, rook f2. And
takes h3.
king h1 or king h3 will both get met by rook h2 checkmate, defended by the bishop. And either the pawn will prevent an escape square or the knight will guard an escape square.
Agreed. Rook f1 is a forced mating sequence. And we're up to 43.
There we go. 44. That was...
44.
We're up there. Nice and forced, exactly.
Right.
Just the way I like my laughter. Right on cue, boy.
After that clip that you showed with the Mexican guy laughing, I may never be the same. This would really be right out of my teenagehood. I was studying chess, and I was not mesmerized, not obsessed, but greatly attracted to combinations on the f7 square. It was like the weakest square in the opening, and Max Lang attacks. You want to go.
That could have gone in so many directions. You were talking about your teenagehood, what you were wildly attracted to,
obsessed,
and then of course it was the f7 square.
Oh, yeah. And pawn, and pawn, by the way. So here I immediately start looking at knight takes f7. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind, and I see king takes f7, and then the discover check to pick up the queen.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
King e7 protects the queen, and I'm an idiot. And then I go, wait a minute.
We're still going.
There's a bishop on e3, right? So then I think knight takes f7, king takes f7, bishop g6. He takes my bishop, I take the queen. Does my queen get trapped? Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But no, there's no...
Yeah, we've got so many...
Escapes. Yeah, that I think bishop g6 would be a great move. if queen wasn't hanging with check, right? That would be another one I'd think about.
Yeah, if the king was castled, maybe.
Right. And interestingly enough, I would never consider bishop b5 check. I would never consider bishop. Because he takes the bishop. Take the queen. He takes my queen. He takes on f7. But I win the rook, but my knight will end up getting trapped. And I'm like, no, that can't be it.
Plus, they might just block, and then you're like,
why did I have a check?
Who am I impressing?
Right.
But yeah, this is a really common tactic, this knight f7 idea, motif. And he will just lose the queen.
Is this one of our queen f6, queen f8 mate? You know, like, is this one of those?
Yeah, it definitely has that air to it.
But no, it's not.
Hey, thanks for the 10 subs there, Mickey.
Are you kidding? Wait. We had... I was supposed to come only when we reached the number of followers. Right?
I say that...
And then we were short. Have we reached it?
I say that in bed every night, Yasser. Right. It doesn't change a thing.
We haven't reached... We didn't reach the goal that brought me here in the first place?
No. Eric and I are on a strict no coming until 300,000 subs, and we're not quite there yet. We're on the no fap train. So we've been abstaining for a while, guys. 300,000 YouTube subs. We're about 1,000 away.
Only
1,000 away.
We can do it this week.
Week. I think it's a necessity. Not just that we can, but we must, like a full call to action. So, in case you're watching right here on Twitch, or in case you're watching this later on YouTube,
right?
Subscribe.
Subscribe
on YouTube. It's free,
Yes.
So often people are like, "Hey man, I'm a uni student. Like, I can't pay. I can't support financially." Right. And it's like, I get that.
Yeah, I get it a lot.
I've been there for only 2 years. I've been there. And this is a great way to support non-financially.
It really is. It really is. It just helps so much on the sponsorship, and that's what it's all about. Here, I think we're finally getting deceived.
Oh, in this puzzle?
I think a deception has been wrought. Queen f6 and queen f7 and queen f8 are the checkmates that we've been seeing so often. We've totally forgot about queen c7 check, because the problem with queen f6, king d7 is not a clean
He's going to start sprinting away.
However, queen c7 check is the most forcing. And after the move king f8.
Oh, yeah, you guys have the interview at the end of the set.
What's this?
Oh, it's just that I was playing some music, but this channel at the end of their great music sets, they have a nice interview with the artist. So, and I would know that and switch the music if I had it.
Right.
But
you don't.
I can tell it was happening. We'll play some Joseph Capriati for the people. Yeah.
Queen c7 check. It's so forcing. King has to go to f8. Now we take with the rook.
And it's a check.
f6, and that's a check. The king has to go to g8. Now we would have the genius move queen h7 mate if it wasn't for the bishop. Eliminate the bishop
first. Yeah.
And then it all dovetails very, very nicely after that.
And they're not going to take... Well, they can't. Because then you don't know whether h7 or f7 first is the right one.
Clever. Nice.
Speaking of clever and nice.
Yes.
This looks like an opportunity to be clever and nice.
Okay, so when I see a problem like this, and just tell me the threats. Rook g2.
Yep.
Exactly. So I see rook g2 as a threat, and I instantly think, I've got to stop that rook. And I see rook e8 as a way to stop the rook. And I think, well, if I go rook e8, and he goes rook takes e8, I've got my mate on g7. If he takes with the queen, then I've got f6. And I've got my mate on g7. So for me, the moment I decipher that rook g2 is a threat I absolutely must prevent, it helps me find the solution. Rook e8.
Right. And to be honest, we've almost maximized these pieces. Like, we're making as many threats as we can. They're being covered barely. They're being held on.
Barely. Yeah.
But like,
there's barely.
Exactly. There's only one more piece I can add to the attack.
Yeah.
And I think rook e7 would be
like my move 100% of the time. Put my pawn on g3.
Exactly.
And I find myself playing rook to g.
So I think
e7.
I would start by going, oh, rook e7 is the answer, and then be like, but rook I gotta defend this at the same time, and then land on rook e8 as a result.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is a very visual move.
Yes. Nice. Okay. Well, this one looks pretty friendly as well, right?
It does. It does. I think there's a very small finesse
required.
But the thing is, I don't love checks with the queen because it allows the rook to come back and block.
Agreed.
So I love starting with the rook.
Exactly.
Forcing the king somewhere here.
Right.
I know for a fact if the king steps up, there's nothing to block.
Yes.
So queen h3 would be mate.
Clear.
And if the king goes to h8, I think normally...
This is where you feel
normally they'd be like, oh yeah, queen h6 and queen f8. Of course they've got us covered.
Right.
So I think this is the moment where they just want you to show some technique.
Right.
Queen e5 check, slow but steady, trying to get the king to come up and then deliver mate on h5.
That's right.
Or
get the rook to come up and deliver
h5 and we could take it. Right. So I think that's a nice.
Yeah. So as opposed to great technique, tactical awareness, rook g3 and queen e5, very important. It's a little hidden. I wouldn't.
It's not too tough.
2479.
It's not too tough, but if you're doing it quickly, I think you can get it wrong easily
because of the queen c5.
But if you have time to think on it, then
right. So these are one of those.
Oh, this is one of the 500. Yes, I know we were talking about checkmates, but in terms of patterns,
yes.
I think this one has got to be one of them for people.
You know, and this idea of like we want to land on f7, but we've got to be tricky about it. We sometimes want our opponent to be on move. So we see king h6, king d7.
Because if this, we're just slowly going to force them out.
Right.
Yeah.
King h6, king d7, king g7, king e6, and we're the ones crying.
We won't just not win, we'll lose.
Exactly. We're the ones crying, so we can't step onto g7. So we go king h.
Here.
And then my opponent can't step onto e6 because then we go king g7 and he's crying. So he'll step to d6.
He understands what we understood that he understood.
Exactly. So he goes king to d6. And then we step to g8.
Again, king g7, king e6.
Right. It's a taboo square.
So everyone is trying to be the last one to enter these two squares.
Exactly.
Here. And now the problem is black has a duty to defend their pawn. They must, or we take and win. So there's no matching us with king
e5.
You know, I'll stop the symmetry all day and take that pawn.
Right.
And then king e6, and then we slide back to g7.
Agreed. Nice. Oh, it requires us to find king f7.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
That was a tough one. Glad we could do it. Again, I'm seeing a lot of friendlies here.
Yeah,
this is 49 and going strong.
This is looking relatively basic for puzzle 50, by the way. Which would
puzzle
be,
50 is what it is.
I mean, we're down ton material. It's one thing to say like, oh, rook c4 and rook takes. That's like maybe the first thing I'd at least consider, but I realize it's defended and I'm still going to be down some material. I think the fact that the pawns are on the board is what would deter me the most, because I could like try to convince myself that that's maybe it. Right, bishop g7, take the rook at the end, but like.
Sorry, I'm not following you completely. So at the moment, I am a queen for a minor piece, right? So if I go rook c4, and the queen has to say draw back.
Well, there's like 3 ways you could play it after rook c4. You could play bishop d6.
Okay.
And then it's like I'd be up a piece, but
3 pawns.
But there'd be a bunch of pawns.
Right.
Or I could, let's say, move the king or something.
And that would allow the mate.
Oh, it would allow the mate. But I'm saying if my brain is wired like I'm gonna win your queen, like rook c4 and take the queen,
right.
I'm not even happy with that. That's not even enough.
Exactly. For
many reasons. And then of course you also have bishop d6 after rook c4.
Right.
And then rook takes here.
Bishop
you have queen d6.
That's the one I'm afraid of.
which is concerning.
Is like, right. And then I'm going to be pawns down.
But everything involves the d6 square.
Right.
Because that's where you're blocking the check.
Precisely. So then I start thinking, much like you have explained in the previous studies, that I can't win material.
Yeah.
I can't play to do things like rook f7 and rook f8 and win material. Or rook c4. I have to play for checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
If I could play rook c4 check, king b8, rook c8, it's mate.
Yeah.
View. But everything allows bishop to d6 and or queen to d6.
Yep.
So I have to stop you from having control over the d6 square, and then I find myself attracted to the rook c5. Yes.
Securing the square and then
delivering the back rank. Again,
getting the mate.
I feel it's very friendly. Like, I'm not, we're at 50 and not stressed.
Agreed.
Like, why?
Not stressed at all.
Right, like, why?
Same with this one, like, not too tricky. We're being attacked, I would say. So, like, I think about moves like this, but I'm also reminded that, like, stuff like bishop b2 is happening. Checks are happening.
More afraid of those queen checks on g1, frankly.
So I'm looking to mate the king, which looks to be extremely exposed.
Agreed.
Rook d5, there's no retreat, which is a great place to start.
Yes.
Forces the king up. And with the king here, I'm, sure that I'll be able to mate with basic checks. So
a3, and rook c5.
And then if king c4, rook c5. If king a4,
b3.
So the other thing would be king a4.
That's the thing that scared me initially. King b4, king a4, rook check, king a4.
It's just the same thing. Right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like initially.
Because knight c3 is not possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, yes. And mate.
And not c3, because bishop takes, you actually like run out of, like, you need your b pawn.
To mate.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Well, again, I'm just feeling like pain.
Oh no, yeah, we're on a hot streak right now.
And we're getting easy puzzles. Can I say that?
Yeah, don't jinx us.
I know. It's terrible. Okay, this one actually starts to look tricky. The reason that I say it starts to look tricky is because I find myself attracted to two moves. Queen h5 and queen f5.
Yeah, and both moves perform the same thing.
Yeah, you're hitting h7, f7. So I feel myself alerted, like, hey, wait a minute, there's two really good moves in the position, and I can only choose one, and one of them probably is a flight to the wrong fantasy, right?
That's right. Yeah, see, we got a raid there from John Bartholomew. Thanks.
Hey, thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Yasser actually shouted out the raid when it happened 5 minutes ago. You guys probably couldn't hear him.
Love my voice. Joey.
So, thanks, John. Really appreciate it, buddy. Also, Rain424 with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you to Rain, and yeah, welcome, guys. Yasser and I are just doing some puzzles, some tactics.
Survival.
So it's really chill energy. If you guys want to just sit back, participate, please. If you want to try to solve it, you can write some of your answers. People are discussing in the chat. Yasser and I are gonna share some of our thoughts about how we're
through the process.
arriving not just at the answer, but so far the correct answer every time. So we're at 51, which means that if you just got here, you kind of came at a good time because they should start to get more testy.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, because we've been having a
smooth
ride.
Smooth
Yeah,
ride.
we're cruising right now.
Cruising. My experience, when given the choice between h5 and f5, is a very strange one. I find myself attracted to h5 more often.
Agreed.
Just because when I go to f5, I'm giving options that maybe my opponent shouldn't get, like g6. Go to h5, you've got to go h6.
Yeah.
I start thinking about bishop.
I like forcing.
Right. Bishop f7, king h8, queen g6.
Mm-hmm.
I see bishop b7.
Yeah.
I see bishop b7 check as a counter. And then I go, ooh.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Queen h5, h6, knight takes f7. Knight f7 threatens a double check. Knight f6. And then a mate. So I find myself attracted to queen h5. How about yourself, Aman?
Yeah, the line that that you propose is also important because queen h5 I was definitely looking at. h6. Bishop takes, king here, rook e1.
Okay.
Because if I get the queen for 2 rooks and I run my king, it's dead because black's king is almost also mated. You mentioned bishop b7, right, which after rook e1 is the cold shower because if I take it or whatever, the knight is actually protecting
the queen,
which is why it's there.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't there, that
easy.
line might be better or easier.
Yes.
So I think it's queen h5, and I think it's knight f7 for the reasons you just outlined.
Exactly.
But I think it's easy to make that mistake. Bishop takes f7.
It's an attractive.
That's it. You don't even...
2 movers? We're at 2,700 and all we need is 2 good moves?
Well, wait till you'll see this one.
No.
Wildly unimpressed.
No. We were doing chess yesterday, and I was telling you that the wonderful thing about checks with the knight are these are very, very forcing. Either you capture the piece or you move your king.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So knight checks are just like really rough.
Easy to calculate.
Yeah, they're rough on the king. So in S chess, you have the 2 extra pieces that can check you with the knight, and the power of checking with the knight is such that it forces the king to flee. So my first thoughts were like, oh, I've got 2 checks with the knight. That must be very good for me.
Knight check, king there, queen b4. I'm sorry, but there's nowhere to move.
Right.
And I mean, you're gonna block the check and just get mated. So
right.
Not too impressed, Yasser.
For 2,700. Seriously, I'm not joking. If I had a student there who was aspiring to be a chess master,
yeah,
I would be upset is a strong word, but I would be like, work on your tactics. There's only 2 moves.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have. I mean, it's gonna take a lot to convince me not to capture h5.
I'm not gonna try. I got good news for you, buddy. I think capturing on h5 is really good. I mean, I'm the pawn grubber in the
yeah,
house,
exactly.
You know?
So I should have your full support on this. We're also down a piece. And
or a pawn or 2.
Yeah, we got a couple pawns. Well, 3 after I finish the job.
Right.
But I've got a hanging knight. So that's why I'm thinking that I have to operate with checks. Because I would be considering maybe rook e1.
Definitely.
But I don't love how much material I'm going to lose to win that queen, you know?
I agree. Put a black pawn on g7.
Mm-hmm.
Rook e1 becomes a very serious option.
Maybe preferred. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
but in this case,
I definitely think this is a start.
And yeah, and now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And now again, we're talking about knight checks and their strengths. Here, because we have a rook check, bishop d7.
I don't like the feeling of giving that king more real estate.
Exactly.
You know?
So once again, the knight check, if the king comes to d7, then rook to d1. In that case, makes perfect sense. The king will actually have to go to e8.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've got a discover check.
Yeah.
Right?
The question is really like, in a situation where the king's on e8, whether the rook's on d1 or not, what's our discover check, basically?
I don't want to take the rook on g8. I don't.
You're not feeling it.
No, that doesn't do it for me. But knight e5 check, king has to go back. e8. Now rook d1, bishop d7. Give me the precious.
And I think I'm trying to think for black's sake, you should want to do it without allowing first the rook to d1.
Exactly.
So knight check, king here, rook d1.
d1. Thank you for
king
that.
e6.
King e6.
It's the only other move. I mean, rook e1 is probably...
Queen d5 check. You bet rook e1 is good enough.
At least we're winning the queen there.
Yes, we are.
And if king e8 there, knight e5 will just mate.
Correct.
So knight check, king here, knight e5, king here, rook check.
I think one of the things about this problem is trying to teach us is that the premature move, rook d1 check, bishop d7, 7 check, allowing king c8.
Yeah. You want to keep the king in the center.
Correct.
So knight f7. Well, they don't even...
I mean, they're not even challenging us anymore. Ooh, knight e4. Ooh. You know, it's the first thing that I find attractive is this idea that I can move my rook with check and discover attack the queen.
Why not? Yeah.
So the first move I start to think of is rook f8 check.
For sure.
Bishop takes f8. Queen takes e1. But then I go bishop h6 and I
start counting up the...
Whoa. What's the force count here?
What's the tabulation there?
2 minors and a rook for a queen.
Yeah, it's actually not that good.
I start to think, is there something more attractive, let's say? How about you?
Exact same thought. As I try to produce something more attractive,
yes,
I think of this.
Correct. That's exactly the way I start to go. Well, if I can't go rook f8, can I put the king in a box situation where the king would allow my rook to go to f7? So
yeah.
I start to look at gh7, h7, rook f7, and I'm thinking, with every fiber of my being, I want to take this queen on e1
right,
to eliminate any threats against my king.
Yeah, the situation is that I don't know what king h8, what I'm doing after king h8.
Okay, then I look at queen e5. Yeah, queen e5. Any knight retreats, I'm taking on e1 with a big thank you. And then on king h7, I've got
the mate
on g7.
Just mate, and if bishop f6. It's actually funny, but both black's pieces are pinned. So bishop f6, queen e8.
And I'm up gobs of material at that point.
And maybe you could even follow with rook f6, although I'm not sure what
By the way, that's a check. Queen takes e8 is check.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it better be, otherwise queen takes f2.
True. So I'm looking at takes on h7, but my first inclination was to play rook f8.
Yeah, definitely.
And just to take.
I think that's the trick. Is like, yeah, if you do it too quick, you're winning the queen but losing too much material.
Agreed.
Check. Must take this with check, and I was expecting that they would bring this up because rook here, you still have to deal with checks.
Yeah, and you don't like.
And let's not forget, king h3. You can still lose our own queen.
Right.
Here.
We have blunt. We have cheapo potential.
Exactly.
Okay. Here though, we do have queen f7, and any king takes will allow rook takes f6, and we'll claim victory.
Should get the job done. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's winning, but like I wouldn't say it's so convincing. Like I'm a little surprised that a puzzle would end with just a couple extra pawns because it's a queen endgame of all endgames.
Right.
So your eventual win is certainly going to involve at some point allowing checks from your opponent.
Right.
And it's like, okay, yeah, it's winning, very winning, but
well, that's interesting. So queen f7, king h6, rook f6, knight f6, queen f6. Can I get you into a position where I can force the trade of queens?
No.
No, why not? Queen f5.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go to h6 because of h5 and e5.
Yeah, king g8.
Queen b7.
Queen b7?
Queen c8 takes b7.
Yeah, but you're not trading my queen.
I'm taking all your queenside pawns.
But you're not trading
my queen. You're just going back and forth, and I'm re-entering the queen. It's true. I'll be 4 pawns up. I think it will be enough. But do you have an alternative? I don't like rook f6 and queen e2.
I'm saying that I don't like queen f7, rook f6 if I can't trade queens.
I see.
I don't feel...
I don't like bishop e3. I don't like rook f1. Maybe rook f1. I don't like this. I think it's queen f7. If you've got an alternative, I'm all ready for it. What does our chat think? Rook f6, queen e2, king g1. That's what I've been analyzing too.
Yeah, put queen g4 and then knight takes.
Right.
That's simple, yeah. Might even be good for black.
King 8, no king, queen f7. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's queen f7.
No, I think you're right, but I'm still disappointed.
Like that you can't force the trade of queens.
Yeah, I definitely think it's this. But like,
it doesn't even force us to.
That's what didn't satisfy me fully.
That's 2851. I don't know. I'm gonna write to Danny and.
You think that was
Lord
overcooked?
Yeah, Lord Mayorship. To really button this down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this looks like right out of theory.
It's hard not to start with
check.
Yeah, the ever appealing queen takes a3.
Grabbing a pawn with check. What could be simpler?
It appears to me that queen takes a3, forced king b1.
And my first instinct is knight e4.
Yeah.
If I could play knight takes c3 mate, I understand. I go rook b1, rook b8 check, queen a3. I have to think about bishop b3 and bishop b5 as attractive ways of blocking the check.
Yeah.
So I would rather think of queen, king b1, knight e4.
Yeah, I like queen a3, king b1, knight e4.
Bishop d2, rook
d2. Can you smell what Yaz is cooking? And the nice thing is that rook takes d2, queen takes e4, rook b8 check, bishop b3, rook takes b3, pawn takes. We have our rook
mate on d2
from d2 is actually contributing.
Yep, baby. Yeah, baby.
So I'm feeling good about that line.
Man, how did arrows take Dylan? You're a godsend. Thank you.
Yeah. Could you hear that Yasser, or sorry, could you not hear that Yasser needed some more tea?
Going deep dive over the cliff. Deep dive over the cliff there, Dylan.
It's a different one, but I also put honey in it too. You got a spoonful of honey mixed in medicine. There is no medicine in it, but
a spoonful of sugar.
There's no guarantee that we won't start plying you with wine and spirits.
Well, no, I actually thought it would be better to put a shot of something in there.
Exactly. We were just talking about how alcohol and honey would be a great mix and good for
taste that and tell me what shot. I think a shot's like is it.
That's good. Now my buddy Aaron.
I tell you, Yasser is an expert dodgeball player. Yeah, just slick.
My buddy Aaron in Holland, he makes mead.
Mead, yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah. It's that old beer. Yeah, it's like the original what beer kind of was.
From honey.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. They sell it in like this honey, like a ceramic pot,
that's
like a ceramic container. Yeah, I've had it.
Yeah, that's all right. And Aaron makes it. Ooh, what did you do? Are we winning?
I'm just gonna take it. I was just gonna take it. Yeah.
Is this you? Whoa.
I'm not seeing anything.
Otherwise, very convincing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got two bishops for a queen, but I don't believe it. Yeah. Dude, that was as straightforward as straightforward to get.
We're at 56, Yasser, and I'm not even breaking a sweat here.
Right? Well, I am because it's warm, but otherwise. Nice. Okay, now this one's tricky.
Yeah. They're bringing out the big guns here.
Now they're finally giving us something to work on.
Do you want to
drink? I'm okay for now. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was out clubbing. I was out clubbing in Toronto last night when out of the corner of my eye, to my amazement, I saw all the chessbrahs and Yasser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were we at the sports bar?
I politely said hello and mentioned that I was a big fan. To my surprise, Yasser got all up in my face and wouldn't stop shouting, "For the boys!" Must be why he lost his voice. Anyway, long story short, don't support these guys.
Ooh, that's horrifying. Not true. It's horrifying as well. Actually, there was some very interesting basketball on that we were watching in the bar as well. There's amazing 3-pointers in the Phoenix game, right?
That's right.
Some splashes that were just like
outskirts of downtown.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The first thing is that this looks,
very attractive to me.
That's the first thing that looks basic.
Yeah.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello. I like Jeff.
Hello.
Are you coming to support us? I mean, we're up to 56, and we're
as the puzzles get harder, the team needs to expand.
Right.
Just the support system.
Exactly. And I'm looking at rook e6, f6, queen takes c7. I'm thinking knight b2 is just
so I'm thinking that e7 will get played.
Correct.
As like a trick, an attempt.
Because of c4 is hanging.
Right.
And e8.
Right.
Okay. Otherwise, it's too simple.
Mm-hmm.
So then king f7 to stop the e8 queen.
That's right.
Rook e1. E1, I got bishop e5 or knight e5. In any case, I got 2 pieces for a rook, and I have attack.
And knight takes b2 first looks like too much. Like I don't think it's anything, and I'm not seeing any tricks there.
Right.
So I'm very
tempted to
sure it's
most
that
straightforward.
Yeah.
2 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I like this Roman Gingiashvili, I'm winning material and I have the compensation.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Rook
what it
E6,
feels like.
Queen C7, and Knight B2.
I think it's E7, and then I think it's King F7. Like I think those are the moves that are gonna happen.
So straightforward. Yeah. Okay, what's our...
If we're wrong, we're wrong, you know?
Right? Bamboo stick. I get it. Chat is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think... I mean, there's no other way to stop this.
Queen C6, unfortunately, it does allow E8. Yes, exactly. So King F7 to stop. And it didn't...
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
We can't be stopped. Exactly what was playing in my head. Yeah.
You know? Do you know? It's true. I went to the Philadelphia Art Museum, Philadelphia, and I ran up the stairs just as Rocky
This must
did.
have been some years ago.
How did you know? Let's call it pre-COVID. And I ran up the stairs and did the whole imitation for the Rocky film, man. Hey, respects. Okay.
I heard
so
run.
Much about run.
Yasser's bringing one out of the archives.
Right. In the dusty. Let me eat this.
Badkins, thank you. Got it.
Go Badkins.
What happened? What happened with Badkins?
Oh, he just gifted 5 and said it was for Jeff.
For Jeff. For Jeff.
Thank you to Badkins 003.
No love for Dan anymore, huh?
Oh, if 5 subs made Dan appear, we would be getting a lot of subs. If it was only that easy.
It was only that easy. Okay, break it down.
I was thinking, first of all, the knight, although it might look hanging, it is defended, which is like it's strange to be defended from the other side of the board.
Right.
So,
like the bishop on F2, the knight is clearly defended, but the bishop on B6. Otherwise, ideas of knight H3 check followed by queen takes E3 would be immediate. But as you say, the bishop on B6 does defend the knight.
yeah, I'm thinking like, a first move for sure that stands out is knight H3, just because it can't be taken. It's a check.
King has to move.
King has limited squares that it can move to, so that's the first move I consider. After king somewhere, I'm thinking knight F2 because
then you've got the mate with queen H4 and H1.
I'm thinking mate like this, and also knight F2 hits the queen, of course, so it kind of has to be taken.
Right.
And after it gets taken, I can follow up with queen H4 check, no matter where the king is.
Right, and then you
take the rook with check, force it back, and then from there, I'm assuming there's rook F4, like rook H4,
because there's no pawn on H3.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing, as a King's Indian defense player, hoorah, myself, bishop H3 is my automatic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my go-to move, and bishop H3 is wonderful, 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 and I convince myself. I see knight E4. He takes E4. Oh,
blah.
Blah. Queen G6.
Yeah.
Bishop F3. I go blah.
Yeah, it's
that's
very well defended.
Yeah, bishop H3. Knight takes G2. Rook takes F8, followed by knight takes G2. I've done my opponent a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of great attackers.
Yeah.
So almost, unfortunately, there's only knight H3.
That's true.
If there's no bishop H3,
it's hard to. I mean, the bishop doesn't join very easily from G7.
Bishop D4 would be a great move if it was illegal. I mean, at least you think about it. But there's only knight H3 and knight F2.
Yeah, I agree. And the rook can't join. Like, there's no rook on the G file either. So
exactly.
We're just too slow. So it looks like it has to be very direct. So
knight H3, knight F2. They don't even want us to find rook.
They don't care.
I mean,
work.
We made that incredible piece of analysis, and then we're ooh. This is a nasty one. So it's gears galore, right?
Well, if the king ever,
goes to e4, we've got. We don't. I just suddenly realized there's f3.
I mean,
oops. Oh.
I was gonna say if the king goes here, we've got this. So if we start with, let's say, check, which is like pretty reasonable. The king can't really go here. It could go to c4.
That's the problem.
But it can also go to e3.
That's another problem.
And as we've just pointed out, it can go to e4.
Right. That's the
just to show you that you have no skewer.
Queen d1 check is not producing the goods now, which makes me start thinking about rook a7
for sure.
Because then I can, at least in this case with my rook on a7, I am threatening moves like rook a3 check and queen c3 check. I should
corral the king eventually.
Yeah, I should be doing good things for myself.
And usually you want to bring the piece in before you start doing anything. So I wouldn't really think about, I could do some checks first and then bring the rook. I feel like I'd just start with the rook. Because I already have the king, sort of boxed in here.
Right.
I don't want to let it get to safety or anything.
Exactly. Put the king on g2 and it's...
And there's not many options. This is useless, and I don't really have other squares. Clear. So.
And queen e6 is not the way you're going to win a puzzle rush.
I'm pretty convinced by rook a7 as the first move, Yasser.
Me too. Let's see if we can get. We have to ask our audiences: are we on the right track?
Because rook a7 is also not a very. It's not a very forcing move. So it's not a move that you feel super confident doing in a puzzle rush situation,
Well, the reason why I like it was rook a7, rook a4 is I'm a student of geometry, and queen d1.
Right.
Check hits a4.
That's true, yeah.
Nice. So, and I like what you were saying, that the early check with the queen would be premature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm really attracted to rook a7 as well.
Looks like we have approval.
Okay.
For liftoff.
Let's go.
All right, now with the actual problem starts.
Release.
Yasser, I'll let you handle this one. I already,
you put me on the right track. you did the heavy lifting. That's quite clear. You did the heavy lifting. Now again, are we looking at premature checks if we started driving the king up the board, or should we be doing other crazy things like prepping? I don't know.
I'm feeling like prep might be out the window. Prep time. I feel like this is action time.
Action.
Like rook
a3 check, king c4.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, that's the problem. Where do we go next? Queen a5. I don't know. Is the threat severe? D7. Conversely, if we play rook a1, is the threat of rook d1 and rook c1 so severe that it causes you not to play the move d7?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's have a look. Rook a1, d7. Rook a1, d7. Check. King c4. Or I was going to go king. For whatever reason. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering, can it just be taken?
Right, take. And then if I bring my queen back to d8,
which I'm not convinced.
Not convinced.
I don't even think you can.
And
even if you could, I wouldn't be convinced.
Well, even exactly, even if I could get to d8, am I sure I'm winning? I'm not sure I'm winning.
Yeah.
So take off the arrows for just a second, and let's see how we can solve this one. So check on a3, king c4, queen a1. What do you think of that one?
Say it again.
Check on a3, king c4, queen a1. The idea behind queen a1, yes. But again, I'm a little bit worried about d7.
Yeah, it's d7 for me that
it's off-putting. Okay, queen f1 check. Why would that?
why would that be good?
I don't. I can't answer that question. I don't see why it would. Once again, rook a3 check. Where did we go?
c4.
Okay. And if we continue with our base check.
Where?
On e6. A2.
But like, I never can get
not
beyond just sacking and d7.
Right.
That's what I'm just like, huh?
It's off-putting, isn't it? Yeah. It feels very strange that you go rook a3 check, king c4, queen e6 check. And the rook and the queen are so far apart. Really wouldn't make a
rook here, queen a5. Like, that feels like we're the closest, but still, I'm like, what did we do after d7?
Right.
I don't get it.
I'm having
They're throwing the tricky ones at us.
Finally. We asked for it. It was a long time in coming, I must say. We asked for it.
We did run out of friendlies, yeah.
So something like, rook check, king c4. Need rook check, king c4. Queen f1 check. There's some geometry.
But even rook d3.
Even. Because I was thinking about king a6. Even then, I'm not.
But then d7.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced.
Because remember, we can do that.
We sacrifice the queen.
We can do this.
And get the queen, yeah.
To a6. Right. And, like, maybe force that. But I still don't really see what we do after that.
But then we have rook a5. We have mates. No, we don't have mates. That's the problem. Ugh. Rook a3 check, king c4. Rook a1. Okay, one more time. Rook a3 check, king c4, queen a1. The idea being that we're threatening, we hope, rook a4. So you go d7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So rook a4, you're forced to give up the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then your king.
I just don't buy that. Like,
that we're not winning queen versus.
First of all, I don't think it's the answer to a puzzle. Second of all, I don't think it's maybe the answer in a game.
Right.
I'm like, is that even winning?
It's not. Ooh. Rook a3, king c4, queen a5. Correct. That's what we've been busting our heads on. And the problem is that after queen a5, Aman and I both think that the move d7, rook a4 check, will feature a queen sacrifice. And we think the queen sacrifice, capturing the rook on a4, is not clear.
Mm-hmm.
We're not convinced. Big Aman. See? Equal billing. Big Aman. It's not a 10-to-1 ratio thing.
You didn't read the next comment.
What was the next
My
comment?
fellow Cowboys fan, Yasser. I mean, as usual, the icing is put on the cake.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Well, Dallas has got a big game this weekend, so... oh, boy. Come on, this can't be so hard.
Rook A3.
C4.
King C4. Queen A5. D7. And the chat is positing D7. Queen C7.
Okay. 7 check. King B4.
Mm-hmm.
Queen takes C2. King takes A3. Queen C3 check. And the rook. Yeah, okay. I can get behind that. Okay, so rook A3, king C4, queen A5, D7, queen C7. Ooh. Me like. And the rook and queen are getting nicely coordinated in this case, which is what we've been aspiring to do. I like it. Let's go. Let's go.
So is this our Ask the Audience?
Yes.
Trusting the chat.
Trusting the chat. That's what it's all about. No! It didn't even force us to find queen C7.
There might be somebody who was watching the stream without watching it, and they were just audio only, and we went to solve it, and you went, no!
I know.
But we got it right.
I know, but they should challenge us.
You probably just gave someone a heart attack. They might have been cooking dinner. Just prepare, yeah, and
rush
then
back,
they heard
casserole
exactly
on burn.
Exactly.
Damn.
But the chat actually came through for one.
I know. I mean, we're going to rely upon them more. Success will force our chat to become very good.
Yep.
They have no choice anymore. Okay, so this one, my rook is hanging.
Indeed.
I don't like that. But I'm thinking if I go bishop to d6 and threaten mate, and then g3, I can solve the problem of my hanging rook by capturing the bishop on f3. And that would be genius. So, bishop to d6, he'd move his rook away to make luft. And then rook e8. The tempo that I want.
We'll cover e2 as well.
Yes.
For me. I think this is just a trick about move order.
Okay.
I think that this is clearly winning.
Okay.
I think they're going to play rook e1.
And then we go
I
rook
think
e8.
that if you start with the queen, you get your own queen in peril. And that's why rook e8 might not work. But if you start with rook e8, queen takes e8, it might look like you're getting mated. But then you throw in the check, and then you take the queen on e8 with the check, so you save your own queen.
But the immediate rook e8 would allow, for argument's sake, a move like queen d5, and then after bishop d6, I get to go g3.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't want... So that's why I think I have to start with bishop d6.
That's what I mean. But I'm saying
good.
saying the move order that they want to test you on is that you don't go queen h2, h1 before rook e8, that you play rook e8, even though with the rook on e1, it looks like you're hanging a checkmate or something.
Gotcha.
But then you throw in the checks to reclaim the queen.
Gotcha.
So I think that this is pretty easy, basically.
For a 3,000?
I'm thinking that it's kind of easy.
Right. Like, what are we missing? We're afraid that we're missing something.
This is too obvious to start with. Like, yeah, okay.
And here's where you're saying, don't play rook e8 immediately, or do play rook e8 immediately.
I'm saying the move order is very important, because if you play queen h2, king there, check, king here, you've already botched it.
Yeah.
If we play rook e8, I think g3 gets you.
Right.
So I think you need queen h2,
king f1,
then rook e8, and then queen h1. So I just think there's a
Got
few.
you.
I think there's a few
Precision.
moments where you can be wrong just by move order.
But precision being key here. Queen h2, and now rook e1, e8. Yes. Now check, and now take the queen with check.
And
rook
takes e1.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure, buddy? You didn't want to quick draw that one from the holster?
He's gonna get me from behind. He's gonna get me from behind him on.
Maybe queen takes.
Yeah. Okay.
For safety. Safety reasons.
Whew. Okay.
This is our
What's
puzzle,
going on
buddy.
here?
Here we go. So we're gonna continue our puzzle run.
Right.
We're at 60s where we left off last time. This is the puzzle that we were on last time. So I just kept the page open. So this, I think we just pick it up here.
Okay, so the first thing that comes through my mind is we've got this pawn on a2, which is a champion. I mean, push 'em baby has never been such a beauty. So I want to get that a2 pawn even further advanced. So I'm thinking rook a1, what else? Rook b8. And even if he takes our knight, the beauty is our queen on h6 can drop in for a visit. You get to go rook b1 check.
Yep.
King g2, queen h1 mate.
So
the knight is actually, you can't take it. It's taboo.
it can be ditched.
Right. Rook a1, rook b8. Again, with this idea of rook b1 and stuff, that looks really good. Come on, break it down.
Well, in terms of danger,
what
queen g4, king h8 is pretty safe, to be quite honest with you.
Right. There's no follow-up. I mean, black is never really threatening to go king g2 and rook h1. Because whenever that stuff, we just take it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no optical. It's not like the rook is being protected.
This is correct.
So our king is really safe. Problem is, so is white's.
And if
which leaves a2.
Because you want to bring a rook here. So what I'm wondering is which rook?
You're thinking of move order.
Yeah. What if we take this rook?
Okay.
Because if this rook takes, then it seems like knight b1 might win immediately.
Okay. That's
so then,
utilizing the a2 pawn as we want.
And if the king takes, then rook b8.
Fill in your.
Let's deep for a few minutes.
All right, you are fantastic. Thank you.
There's honey in there too. No sugar, just honey.
Honey.
Hero.
With you look up dictionary hero. There's Dylan's photo. Okay, sorry, you were on a roll there.
Well, I'm just saying, what is the difference between rook f1 and rook a1? Because rook f1, king f1, rook b8 feels like exactly what you said.
But okay, rook f1.
Yeah.
Then you wanted to go knight b1.
Yeah, then I wanted knight b1, and I thought that was clever.
How clever is it, rook? Because, aren't we worried that rook d1, rook check or something? No, we're not.
I don't think so.
Worried.
I was more worried that this you can just take.
And then check king e2.
Yeah.
And then you don't get your queen h. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer.
I was just trying to find the difference because
rook f1.
If there's two good solutions, they're both wrong.
Right. So no, rook f1, king f1 kind of spoils. It allows for queen takes c3. That's the diff.
And X modeling is there perpetual. So if we take a1, and they take the knight for some reason, we take king takes queen h1, and then we make a queen.
Defending e5.
And if this check, we simply block or even move to display that we understand our queens on h1. But yeah, the queen would be guarding e5. So
in the event we get to promote, yes.
So I have to say this is looking quite convincing.
Right.
Because white's threats are few and far between. I mean, this check doesn't bother us at all.
Rather
Here, check. Here, takes. Still rook here. And then... Because any like bishop e6 to try to make a mate threat, black is actually forced mating. Like there's a forced mate coming. Rook b1, queen h1. So
precisely.
I don't know.
Feels good.
It feels really good.
Let's and
you want to lock that in?
Yeah, and the answer is
the move order won't really change our answer.
We're still threatening the checkmate on h1 after rook b1.
Yep. Nice start.
Okay, that's what we needed.
We needed to get the energy rolling again.
Where's the energy? Nice.
Good start. First one of the day.
First one of the day.
All right, Yaz.
Yes.
I tell you, in this position, it seems like it's one of those ones that just might be easier than you think. I'm just getting that vibe. Right. Because, okay, we're down a piece, which is important to note. But, like, queen takes g4 looks like a good move.
And it is. It gets us a pawn for the piece, and the bishop would have to move. But that's not what you would call a won or winning position.
No.
Queen g4, bishop moves. You gotta... So it's got to be... There's no checks. So it's got to be associated with captures. So we take on e6. Obviously, you have to take on h3. And then here's the tricky moment, because there's actually a couple of moves that are very attractive. Queen h5.
Yeah.
Taking on f7 is attractive, even if maybe it allows the king to run away.
Yep.
And finally, crazily enough, maybe even knight d5 takes on e6, takes on h3, and maybe even knight e5. Knight d5, pardon me, is attractive. Right. But I'm feeling inclined to the queen h5 idea. The reason I like it, maybe you saw that.
Well, I'm bothered by this.
Of course.
That
we hate the fact that our king is being exposed. But maybe it's not a big deal.
And it'll always feel weird to have like king g2 and king h1 as part of a solution.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Okay. So let's go down the primrose path. The reason why I was attracted to takes on e6, besides the fact that we were just talking about, you've got to start with the capture.
Yeah.
Takes, queen h5, queen e7, and we can talk about takes on g2, include that as well. It was knight d5.
Yep.
That's the sweet move. Queen e6, knight c7.
Yep.
Okay.
The thing about this is like, there's only really two moves that even stand out as candidates.
Yeah.
Because
knight f4, you're probably going to follow out with queen g4.
Sure. But knight f4, bishop back, I'm basically
I can't call a winning position.
I can't buy that fe6 is not the first move.
Agreed.
Put it that way.
Let's do it.
So I think fe6
screamer.
You just must start with it.
It's a screamer. Now what we do next is the You'll take credit for our fe6. I agree. Let's start.
You want to put it on the board?
Yeah. Okay. Now I hate the fact we're allowing hg2.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean,
it feels strange.
But
let's look at the line where you don't allow it, like pawn takes pawn.
Okay.
We can maybe rule it out if it's no good, because I mean, this is one thing, but I would say even like
I would be more afraid the king running away, but with king to d7. So we could take on f7, king to d7, queen g4 check, king to c6. We could take on h3, and it's like, we're just kind of parked, and it's still a piece.
Yeah, and you're not really gonna get like an overwhelming majority government in the does this work vote.
Exactly. Okay. So let's look at the more serious one, which would be queen h5, hg2, king takes g2, rook h7, knight d5. Right? Feels good.
Sure.
Looks good. Bishop e7. And where's the
Yeah, that's
cruncher.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the cruncher.
Maybe like rook f6, rook f1 or
something. You know what? You know what Robert Hubner said about Dražan Velimirovich?
No.
Too much talent.
Too much talent. Similar to myself.
That's what I'm saying. Rook f6, rook f1. Dang, what did you eat for breakfast this morning, dude?
I'm out for blood, boy.
Wheaties, man. Something's gone to your head here. We're losing control, everyone. Aman is in the house. Okay. Queen h5, hg, king g2, rook h7, knight d5, bishop e7.
Oh, Salty's enjoying the music. There must be a rap song snuck in there.
Oh, yeah? We've got it. Yeah,
we just don't. We don't have the music. You guys do.
Because
so.
we've only got
there
one.
must be. It must be a rap song.
One.
I'll let you enjoy it, Salty, but then I might have to change the playlist.
God damn! This is the worst music you ever heard in your life. Doesn't it make you want to throw up? Knight d5, bishop e7. Now, rook f6 is certainly one way of continuing the attack. Wow, rook f6. Bishop f6, rook f1, knight d7.
Yeah.
Takes on d7, takes on d7. Then you take on f6 and you win all the material back.
No, but let's assume rook g7 gets played, yeah?
Yeah, so you're not in the fork.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just step back to h1.
Or in fact, queen h5 takes, let's rook g8, whatever.
You're right. We're throwing in knight d5, and then you're throwing it. I'm suggesting black will defend with bishop e7. But if you throw in the rook g8 too soon, and you put our king on h1, then suddenly we do have rook g1. Remember, f7 is mate.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that rook g8, rook g7
is actually
helpful.
Not good.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
That's true.
For our good persons.
And knight d5 immediately is just not it, right?
It just feels wrong. I take on e6, you check me on h5. Always I take on g2, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You check me on h5, I get on my Nike
horse.
cross country running shoes and just
flee
the building.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, queen h5. Let's
You want to put queen h5?
Yeah, let's drop it in and see the HD deep house 23.
Yeah, man.
Look what I've been missing.
Deep house, I'm telling you, buddy.
Damn.
What does the chat
Hold
think?
on. Isn't correct. Isn't covered. Oh.
Well, I think he's maybe talking about his own line.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, my voice has been fried, man. The chessbrahs destroyed me with the...
Yasser's a soft-spoken...
Thank you. Yeah. And, hold on. The public humiliation has not been completed. Was there Caligula hot sauce? You said... You shamed me in public. You said, no way. What are you doing, man? There was no Caligula. What even is a Caligula hot sauce? And then we asked Eric, the dude who made the order. He said, Gods of Thunder was the first, and Caligula was the second. Right? Right? Look at this. Look at this. No shame. You've got to take responsibility for your actions on this one.
Yes,
right?
Of all the things in the world, the hot sauce flavor was called Caligula.
That's all I know.
Possibly the thing that makes the least sense that I've ever seen.
Hey, man, I just came to Toronto. I mean, I figured you guys had scoped it all out. I just was going with the flow.
It's just ridiculous.
Okay, I wanted queen h5. You gotta nail it. Queen, come on. Please. This is 3,200 as well.
You want me to throw this out there, buddy?
Yes.
Hey, I got this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you very. Yeah, you got this one. Oh, that's a blunder.
I got this one too.
Okay.
Now, tempting as that might be, we're gonna tuck our king back.
Come on, that was the easiest. Rook G7
no,
was
Rook G7.
Far more difficult. We were thinking knight. Why isn't knight D5 just like?
Oh, knight D5's lights out here.
Isn't it?
This is over, right?
It sure looks like to me.
Rook G5. I'm just trying to like.
Right. Even
fight.
make sense of it, right?
But the thing is, like.
Well, then we can take a rook, right? We can. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Rook G5 isn't over. We can move our queen.
Just somewhere.
Randomly, yeah. Knight D. Oh, then he takes the knight. Sorry. Okay, but knight D5. Come on. That was our very, very, very first thing that attracted us to this whole line with Queen H5.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's just the only other thing I'm wondering is like, is there a
stronger?
Basically, is there a
Welcome.
hey buddy? Is there a I don't know. Just BS.
Nah. Hey, knight D5. Let's go.
Well, you deal with Rook G5 then, buddy.
Nice. Okay. So we're
doing some puzzles there, Cheyenne. You want to pull up a chair or something?
Pull up a chair.
No, there's that one there. If you want.
Hello, Grandmaster Yasser. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Welcome. Welcome. All right.
Congrats, champ.
Thank you. Good to see you, man.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you as well.
How was that?
Birthday was great. Celebrated it on New Year's Eve in Turkey, pretty much. So Istanbul for
so your
birthday, New Year's.
Birthday, New Year's.
Mine's on the 30th. So.
Man, that's such bad luck because it's like Christmas, New Year's, and then you got your birthday. Everybody forgets.
People say that. I only ever hear people have a negative. Oh, that's too bad.
Right?
It's never been too bad. It's always been great.
You got a lot of presents.
Extra, buddy. It's just a bash. Like it's just December belongs to me.
All right. Okay. Good point. All right. Glad to hear it because I always felt bad for you poor guys or gals born on that date.
We've done some Pro Chess League commentary together. I think Yasser
during the
on some of Shime's games.
Oh no! Kidding.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember commentating a few with you.
Did we get tasered? did he scroll us?
I can't remember if we only commentated on wins or not.
I think when I drew Wesley, you were both commentating that. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
wow!
There you go.
Wow. Hey, when I drew Wesley, I mean, here's my calling card. I don't know what you guys are up to, but this is what I do.
Let me know what you've done in
right.
This is
buddy.
This is my
right
registrar.
Right. Okay, we've actually got to think this one through because I kind of, frankly, it stopped. I saw takes on F7, Queen F7, Knight C7, followed by the trade of queens, and I grabbed the rook. But when I went into this line initially, takes on F7, I missed King D8.
Uh-huh.
But that's still a powerful pass pawn on F7. What do you think? Break it down for us. Takes. Knight takes queen. Rook takes queen. Knight G6. I'm winning a piece, right?
That's probably it. That looks pretty winning, right?
Sure does to me too.
But this is such a funny move to play after everything.
Queen H5 and Knight D5. You want to see a Knight F6.
The one thing that I like is takes. Maybe Queen H3.
Or maybe Knight F6 check.
Yeah, Knight F6. Over.
Yeah.
Immediately over.
Right. But Queen H3.
And King D7.
King D7. Holy smokes! You're still in the
fray.
In the fight.
But okay, just
check.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should take, yeah.
Okay.
Are we pulling the trigger?
Are we pulling the trigger, everyone? Are we just taking logical, right? Right? I think we're pulling the trigger. Do it. Pull it. I'm gonna pull my finger.
Not this shit.
Do it. Pull it. Do it.
What about knight d7?
Oh, yeah, dude. You mean what about knight d7? Okay. So it takes king d8 is what you're saying, right? Takes king d8. Takes king d8. Holy smokes.
What happened to our piece, buddy?
I know.
Our extra piece.
Okay, just a second. Takes king d8. So we could take the rook and take the queen. Is that completely convincing? I'm not sure.
This?
Yeah.
Convincing. I might
It's
lose.
2 pieces. Again, the pawn on f7 is our stalwart. I mean, right? Wow.
Wait, here?
Right.
Oh, but that's like...
Rook f5. And...
No.
No. You don't like it.
You're trolling.
You're not like, you know.
I'm not buying that.
You're not buying.
No.
Okay, so take on f7, king d8. Take on e7. Take on h5. Knight to g6. Knight to d7.
I'm not buying that either, honestly.
It's a very strange configuration where black's pieces are actually stuck. You go rook f5.
When?
After knight d7.
What? No, I'm not buying.
Yes.
Takes here. Knight takes.
Yes.
Takes.
Knight g6. Knight d7. Now in that position, think of what black's next few moves are going to be. Bishop g7, knight f8, right?
Sure.
Go rook f5.
Okay. I take.
I take with a pawn. King is a little stuck. Bishop is stuck. I want to go.
I go king c7.
Okay, rook e1.
Knight e5.
Oh shoot! The rook defends the bishop.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Okay.
But there's no way the solution is a
very
12 move
one.
answer down a piece.
Hey, look, dude, we're up to 3,200. We ought to be tested.
Yasser's trying to seal the answer.
This is an amazing position. Like,
What do you
I have
think?
no idea what the answer is. It's just.
And we
curious.
got here. I don't even want to touch the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go back.
This is not the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
we've played a few moves.
Oh yeah, no. We sacrificed our king side indeed. Look, I think it stakes on f7, king d8, and let's think again, because what else are we going to do in this exact moment? Queen h3,
Queen h3
rook takes d5.
takes. You could make a case there better than the one you're talking about. That black's in a weird like.
He is, but he's in a weird configuration. Okay, so queen h3 takes on d5, takes on d5, knight a6. He's in a weird configuration anyway, right?
No, but let's say queen h4
I've got to take on d5, no choice.
takes knight here.
Or let me take on e6 in that case with your queen on h. Ooh, maybe
Like
you're going
that.
to take on f6. No,
Sorry?
queen h4,
Yeah.
rook takes d5.
Oh, you want
takes.
to take here.
Yeah, or maybe bishop g7 and
Mhm.
king f8. I don't know. Get out of dodge. But queen h3 is actually kind of like weirdly attractive,
Takes.
right? So that
But
you
then
can
even
get to
takes
go.
here maybe.
Okay, then I go rook e1,
E5,
queen c8 check,
queen d8.
queen take. Yeah, it's not. It's funny. Our queen needs to be everywhere at once. We're in the everywhere bubble. So take on f7, king d8. One more. So queen 8. Okay, so to the audience, we're wrestling we're wrestling with takes on f7, king d8, takes on e7 variations, as well as queen h3, keeping queens on the board when black's king is not castled. Rook takes d5, e takes d5, and we're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Can't we struggle a different way? Why don't we take on f7? King d8, move the queen.
Like h3 or something.
h4, you also were attracted to h4.
And queen goes somewhere. e7.
That attacks our queen. Gains tempo, isn't it? Takes on f7, king d8. Where else could our queen go? Unless you're forced to play rook takes d5, I don't like it.
I don't know.
Is this weird? Take on e7, take on h5, knight g8.
What?
Knight g8.
How? Bishop.
Rook g1.
Yeah, I was gonna play bishop h8. Your knight's trapped too, buddy.
That is exquisitely funny. You're right. My knight is trapped too.
Wow, this is ridiculous. We've already put in so much of the legwork.
Yeah, no, we got that one. No,
Spaghetti bowl. I think
we
the thing
got
is,
that one. Takes queen takes.
There's no queen takes happening.
Knight
the king
c7.
is moving.
We got that, but the king d8 is what's throwing us off.
Our chat is not being very helpful. Perhaps the 437 viewers from GM Benjamin Feingold's chat can help us out. He just rated. And
shout out to our buddy Big Ben.
Big Ben. Thank you, Ben. Perhaps you guys can help us.
Right.
You guys are probably better at chess than our chat.
Well, then rewind a little bit.
No, Ben was quick to throw them under the bus.
Under the bus.
No,
457 folks. Thanks for joining. Our problem is that we want to take on f7, and if queen takes f7, we're gold.
Yeah,
we're gold.
There's no way you can make it standing. There's no way.
We can go knight c7 and
too
we
tough.
win. But take on f7, king d8 is where we come to a very unclear crossroads, frankly.
And we've already made so many moves. I feel like we should have got the answer by now.
Exactly.
They just keep moving.
They were friendly through 60, but now they've turned on us.
Yeah, they turned on the heat.
Right?
For sure.
The other decision that we're considering, besides taking on f7 right here and right now, is this very attractive move, queen h3. If we play the move queen h3, we're keeping queens on the board at a time that black is not castled. Rook takes d5.
Yeah.
E4 takes d5, and we're thinking that we're going to bring our rook to e1 very, very quickly and take advantage of what we hope will be an open file, a killer file. So that's what we're wrestling with. Queen h3, attractive.
What's the
Take f7, attractive.
Yeah, after queen h3, what is black's defense?
We're looking at rook takes d5, e takes d5, takes
I want
e6,
to take, yeah.
rook e1,
right,
e5, queen c8 check, and I think we went queen d8.
I wanted queen d8.
Yeah, I mean, I was taking on b7, but I'm not
But at this point, I don't
myself.
buy it. I'm about to develop.
Right, it's not altogether convincing. So these are our struggles.
After after rook takes d5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, e takes d5.
Is ef7? Did you look at ef7?
No, we haven't. Probably queen f7.
All right.
And knight d7.
But there's queen c8 after queen
Yeah,
f7.
you don't want queen f7 though.
Oh, pardon me.
You'll get killed.
So you're looking at queen h3. Rook takes d5. Takes on f7. Then I have to take with the king.
Yeah, and then I guess e8.
And then knight d7.
Yeah, queen h5.
Back to g8.
Rook g1.
Over to yeah. Bishop G7.
Rook G7 maybe there.
Right. So I'm kind of having to go over to H8.
I want to go the other way.
That's a long-winded variation.
I want to go the other way. I want to go D8 after takes. And then take back and
Queen
D7.
H3
and
takes on D5,
yeah.
takes on F7,
Yeah,
King D8.
yeah, exactly.
Stopping Queen C8.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Take back, and then I want to go Knight D7. And
Not completely convincing. You've got a rook for 2 minor pieces. The pawn is on F7, but dang.
but this kind of answer is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem with getting into the upper echelon of
Like I feel like
chess
after
sorcery.
we're gonna play Queen H3 and the puzzle's gonna end. But it's gonna be like
It's
that.
always like that. They don't even test you on.
Right? Yeah, on half the stuff that you're struggling to understand.
We need mittens. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, one more time, because for me, when we
What
started
move
this,
do we like best?
I liked EF7 best, but then came King D8, Knight takes E7, Rook takes H5. Knight G6, Knight
But to me, that
F.
looks
Knight D7.
easy to reject because we're down a piece without any clear chances to regain it.
Easy to reject, huh? Dang.
I think so.
Tell me what you really think. I mean, don't hold back. Spank. Welcome to Toronto.
That's why.
Shit.
That's why I gave you that boxing class.
Right?
So you can
There is a
defend yourself.
punishment. There's a punishment. Now, don't tell me that you didn't see Mel Brooks' The History of the World.
I won't tell you.
Okay. So in the scene from The History of the World, there's King Louis of France, and they're out in the gardens, and it's a gorgeous day, and everybody's wonderful, and Mel Brooks is playing King Louis, and he gets word that the assassins are out to get King Louis, and apparently these assassins are so good, it's virtually impossible to stop them. So what are we going to do, says Mel Brooks. Well, we'll have to get somebody to take your place. So a double.
Yeah.
A double. King Louis says, who could possibly take my place as the King of France? Well, Mel Brooks is also playing the piss boy. This guy's literally got a bucket, and whenever one of the royals wants to relieve themselves, I mean, he's holding the bucket, right? And the guy says, I've got to get it right. My throat is going to kill me. Well, you look like the piss bucket boy. King Louis looks at the guy and says, you look like a bucket of shit. like, damn, you got to get that on Google. Do that Google search so that the audience, if you're not familiar with the history of the world and piss bucket scene. Yeah.
Is it something we should watch or?
Yeah, you got to watch this if at all possible. It may not be. It's just such a funny scene. It's not Mel Gibson.
What? Is it not him?
No, it was.
I thought you said Mel Gibson.
Not Mel Gibson. It was History of the World. Mel Brooks.
Oh.
Mel Brooks. And here we go.
Is it that?
History of the World.
Oh, it's got to be this.
You look like the piss boy, yeah. Okay, what do we got? I mean, let's see if it's aged well. This is a very old movie.
Your Majesty, I must have a word with you. The Count de Money. Jim, don't correct me. What is it? Of course, Your Majesty. I've come on the most urgent of business. It is said that the people are revolting. Who said it? They stink on ice. Your Majesty, this is a very serious problem. The peasants feel you have no regard for them. What? I have no regard for the peasants. They are my people. I am their sovereign. I love them. Oh! Drifting to the left. Your Majesty, the situation is worsening. The peasants may grow violent. Violent, yes, stink. I hate violence. The one thing I detest. Violence. I abhor it. Oh! Fell like a stone. But, Your Majesty, just in case of the remote possibility of a temporary revolution, don't you think it would be wise to have you safely spirited out of Paris? Perhaps you're right. But who would sit on my throne in my absence? We'll find a double and put him on the throne. Ah, a double in case of trouble. I like it. But where would you find a handsome dog to replace me? Oh, yes, of course. That's it. Your Majesty, you look like the piss boy. And you look like a bucket of shit.
It did age well.
Yes.
Looking like a piss boy.
God, you're right. I do look like the piss boy. This sign of trouble. He shall be the king. Go.
He shall be the king.
Come in. Now, son, I must have a word with you.
Okay, very good, very good.
You're finished.
That was great.
Yeah,
Come with me.
I'm not finished. You're finished.
Yeah, this is the king that you're talking to now.
Okay, I mean, again, a little American culture there, Gwen. As we really know, History of the World Part 2 is an upcoming TV. I didn't know that they were going to make it into a TV series. No, thank you for that.
Wow.
But these little clips in life, you know, they
Yeah,
really
that was
make
a
it
good one. That was a good one.
You look like a bucket of shit.
That was a rare good one from Yasser.
A rarity. I get that all the time. Okay, Aman.
Vujada?
Vujade.
Vujade? That's what
is Vujade? Not deja vu.
Right.
Where this has happened before, but Vujade
Queen
is that
H4, really?
uncanny feeling you get when you realize none of this has ever happened before. Never happened. Queen H4. We were also looking at Queen H3, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, Queen H3 feels...
What? Feels what? What's Aman? Queen H.
Feels like appropriate geometry to be on light squares.
Wait, Queen H4 had...
The Queen H4 has hitting F6,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, Rook F6 is coming.
Precisely. But that looks so contrarian, right?
That's what I mean.
Takes. But you're hitting F6, and I mean, it's all about tempi in these positions.
So I take here, and what's happening?
Queen H4 takes on D5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm threatening Rook F6. Deal with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I take
on F6. Threatening to take on E6. That'll be hurtful.
And it's nice after ED5, there's even Rook E1. Queen's in E1 as well.
Protecting E1 as well. Okay.
Queen H4 is so nice.
And boy, that is really
and
pounding.
takes knight A6.
Takes knight A6. Good move. I don't want to see you castling, so I take on F7.
Mm-hmm.
Guess you have to take the queen. You're hitting D5 in that case.
Yeah. Sure, let's say, yeah.
Check you. Man, I don't know. Queen H4, that's...
Rings true.
Yeah, that's higher level stuff going on here. We again, we greatly appreciate the efforts of everybody in chat, but please do not send us computer variations. We want fair play. Mm-hmm. We want to establish the bar at such a great height. Nobody,
that's right.
Right?
So
fair
we
play.
won't be able to accept any variations from balancing.
Long variations that end in some smothered mates. No. Okay, take us through. Break it down. Take us through our choices. Takes on F7, Queen H4, Queen H3. What else? Knight takes E7.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Knight takes E7.
I'm not buying your.
No, I think I was doing that with takes on f7 first, and I was going rook f5.
I think all that anything where there's just a clear extra piece.
And we've got a pawn on f7.
Yeah,
I'm
much more am interested in the these.
Okay,
these
well,
so
the more we're looking at queen h4 and queen h3, I gotta tell you, queen h4
makes a better impression on the guys.
Right, because rook takes g5 is basically forced in this position. I mean, that knight on d5 is doing such damage, and we've got knight c7 fork threats. And after queen h4, rook takes d5, e takes d5, and I'm inspired by the fact that we're hitting f6.
Mm-hmm.
As mentioned, we're covering e1.
Is f5 a move?
Yeah, f5 is definitely a move. But then we can take on f7 or even return to h5, and we're feeling really, really good.
f5, queen a4 check.
Right, yeah,
What?
It didn't look great.
And
Queen a4 check. Wow. I mean, who saw queen a4 check?
But queen a4 doesn't seem very useful for any other reason, honestly. Like, we give a check, king here, and like.
Okay, I gotta tell you, this is really a shame
There's
for me.
too much coordination, right? Queen a4 and queen e1.
Yeah, it's shame
Too good,
for me.
right?
Yeah, I'm changing my vote. I jumped. That felt good.
It was the trifecta.
Okay, take the damn queen.
We congregated.
Right. I better be. Woo.
Never want to see that
Oh my
puzzle
god.
the rest of my life.
Please, queen h4. Oh my goodness, that was brutal. Queen h4. Yeah, man.
That's ridiculous. Chances I'm playing that in a game.
Do we have any chocolate around here? I need to reward myself.
We do, yes.
We do.
Yeah?
Okay.
You want some chocolate?
Oh, yeah.
We have some. We can operate. Yeah, there
are.
might be something in there. Otherwise, we've got some downstairs
Dang.
as well.
Dang.
Help yourself there, buddy. These are the ones that the kids didn't take on
These
Halloween.
are the Swiss pralines.
Yeah,
and,
this is all you deserve right now, buddy.
and there's no Belgian pralines here, dude. You're giving me Reese's Pieces.
That's all you deserve.
This is like E.T. candy. What the hell, man? That was a tough problem.
You're showing me YouTube videos of movies.
I can't believe it. This is what I'm getting. I mean, I just saw virtually single-handedly, I solved the 3246 problem, and I'm getting. What the hell is that?
He says single-handedly.
Virtually, I said. Like, as in really, really close. Damn. This really does take me back to my Halloween days. I'm going to go with the Whoppers on these ones. Okay. This one.
I'll reward myself with some water.
This one kind of feels straightforward because our queen on b8 hits h2. And the genius inside of us wants to go bishop on a8 takes f3, which is illegal. Right? Pity.
Right.
So rook c8, in order to pin the bishop, so that we can eventually go bishop takes f3, seems to be the way to go. So rook c8, rook d7, what else? Bishop f3. Rook c8, rook d7, bishop c6. Threatens bishop f3, threatens the rook. This is a hell of a lot easier than that previous one. You, Aman, break it down.
I'm looking at. I'm trying to play the other side. Rook here, queen e4.
Okay. Knight f6.
Maybe queen a4?
Queen a4.
Oh, sorry, it's the same idea. Yeah. Knight.
But I think that
Rook c8.
queen a4 is nice because it guards the rook, which I assume you'll end up there. So what? Yeah. So what about that? What are you doing here, buddy?
Buddy.
Knight takes.
Right.
Then I was thinking bishop takes.
Right.
Knight takes. Bishop takes. I'm threatening me.
So, okay. So once again, rook c8, queen a4.
Yep.
Knight takes e3, bishop takes d7. Bishop c6. Bishop takes c6. Knight takes d1.
Bishop c6, bishop c8.
Ooh.
Rook d8 mate. Nice. Excuse me.
We created a different puzzle.
A new monster. The new monster has emerged. Rook c8, queen a4. Bishop takes c6. Queen takes g4. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything there.
I'm winning a pawn. To laugh. Do you believe this? My favorite living condition. And
well, your solution to the last puzzle was to be down a piece. Now your solution to this puzzle is to be up a pawn.
which is a great improvement if you stop and really think about it. I mean, you know. Okay. Okay. Are you saying there's a better move than rook c8? Give me a better move than rook c8, buddy.
No, I don't.
You could do knight takes e3 if that strikes your fancy. Strikes my fancy. I don't see anything. But then I'm giving up h2.
That doesn't matter though. Like, I don't think this was ever about h2. It was about winning this piece.
Okay.
And so if we take and then go here.
Right.
And rook takes here. We're still winning.
We've got the discovered attack on the knight. But is it true? In that final position after bishop takes c6, we have knight g5 be disruptive. Bishop takes d7, queen h7.
Just take the rook. Yeah.
Take the rook and just flee.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if there's bishop c5 there after king f8.
No, we start with knight e3.
First move. Sorry, the bishop's off the board.
Yeah. Our first move is to capture the bishop, pardon me.
Hits the queen, so you're fairly forcing.
Very.
Then this.
Rook c8.
And then if knight d4.
Knight d5.
Yeah, basic.
That looks... And if rook takes d7 was the line we were looking at. Rook takes d7, bishop takes c6.
I think that rook c8, queen a4 works, and that's what they want you to fall into.
Gotcha.
And I think that this...
I was easily victimized.
Exactly. I think you... When the chess.com interns were developing this puzzle,
they were like, what would Yaz do?
They were thinking...
Yaz would take it. You would go for it right
What would
away.
the chumps fall for?
Right.
And
right.
You're a perfect chump.
I mean, I'm thinking that there should be some kind of like chessbrah litmus test. You know, you got to... We should get like advanced copies of the survival puzzle rush puzzles.
Oh, that'd be great. We could set some records easily.
Exactly. Full stop. But, you know, we could rate them according to our stars and standards. I'm ready to go with 93. Please jump.
I mean,
jump.
I just want to make sure we don't
spoil it.
Probably wrong, but
I think in this situation, more heads are better.
Okay, thank you. So after rook c8, after 93, fe3, rook c8.
Yes.
There, I saw that knight d4. You have to, I guess, make one more move.
95.
Yeah, I guess 95 is just it.
Right. Which, by the way, again, the geometry of 95 is pretty attractive. You know, like all of black's pieces are focused and hitting white pieces.
Thomas, I don't know what line you're talking about with queen a4.
So we're wanting to start with rook c8. Rook c8 was the visual.
Because rook c8
instantly,
here,
and then queen a4 put us off. First,
there's no queen b6, and we wanted to take, and then here, and then if queen a4,
bishop
there's no
C6.
need for anything. We're just winning. We're just winning the piece straight up.
Exactly.
I feel good about knight e3.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
The eyes have it. We have a speaker. And we're up to 63. Awesome. 63. 63.
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Nice. Well, this one looks very easy.
You're being seduced by something that's very easy.
This looks so easy.
I mean, knight d4 is a screamer.
Because it's hard to imagine that we don't win this queen or win a piece.
Right.
Something. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, and...
The only question...
is the move order.
Is whether you start with, like, a certain, like, d5 first, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Agreed. But for me, knight d4, queen g3, what else? Bishop g5 check. King b1, what else? Bishop f4. Gotta go to h3, don't you?
no, but but you can't give this check because then f4. Oh no, sorry, it's forking. Never mind.
Let's explain to Aman what he is missed. Knight d4, queen g3. Aman, after bishop g5 check, f4. You're f4. It's a good idea. You block the check, but you do allow one spectacular resource is kind of hidden.
I wasn't aware of the dynamic between you two. You guys can rush each other's calculation.
I'm very helpful. I'm trying my best to bring Aman into higher consciousness. It's not been an easy task. But this is too easy.
But why are we playing bishop g5, bishop f4 instead of bishop h4?
No, because knight d4, queen g3 hits e5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed that at first too. I was thinking bishop h4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Very precise, yes, sir.
So knight d4, but this is too easy. This is not a 3,500 problem. Knight
well,
d4.
but the problems are also given their score based on how people score on them. A bit, right? So,
I see. Okay, that's a good point. It's
It could
almost
just
like
be-
a poll.
yeah,
If you
it's
will.
almost like everyone just goes too fast or something.
Gotcha. They don't think it through.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy though not to play knight d4 as the first move.
Right.
It really stands out.
Right.
And
I
like,
mean, the bishop g5 first is also equivalent. Oh no, you get mated.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm finding a way to
Let's
lose.
explain.
your turn, buddy.
You want to take this
Bishop
one?
g5 is a great move.
It's an excellent-
Checking the king,
Checking.
gaining
Always
time.
check. Always check. It could be me.
The king moves over, and it's amazing. We've gained time. Our bishop is well placed.
Much better. It's protected.
Ready for the steed to enter in the center on d4.
Impressive.
And after this great combo, what can we say? We've solved the game has actually ended quicker than if we solved the problem.
Exactly.
Queen f7 mate.
All contributions welcome.
This we can all say that we solved this together. That's all I know.
Yeah. This has been a combined efforts.
I mean,
I like it.
I mean, this is just crazy. Like,
Right, but you got to do it. Come on, knight d4.
And
Let's go.
there's absolutely no world where d5 gets played.
Exactly. Come on.
It's just wild.
Now you're prepared to meet f4.
When f4 happens, you know who to call. I'm right here.
Come on. Is ready? Give me the knife and fork, boys. I got this.
No, it's a shame.
Yes, it really is a shame.
There's a specialist on deck.
Exactly. Well,
This is a wildly easy one. It's like-
crazy at this level. I mean, I think something about 64.
That was insane.
Right? They were just kind of that's like a gimme or something. They were just
that was a
saying,
freebie, guys.
Right. I didn't feel
like I earned anything.
anything.
Shouldn't be getting any credit for that.
Oh, this is a beauty. I actually believe I had something very similar in a game of mine to this exact position, where because the bishop was overworked on d5 and was unavailable for both defense and offense, I had this rook check to b1, king g2, bishop f1, king had to go to f3, rook to
E1.
d1. rook to d1, threatening mate.
Wow.
And the bishop was undefended. And I had a mate I had a double attack, and the pawn on in my case, the bishop on f1 defended c4. The pawn on b5 is, I guess, just to get us to be afraid. We would play something like bishop h5 and stop. Rook takes f7, which is not necessary.
Well, they want to stop bishop c4, right? With the pawn.
Wait,
yeah. Well, why?
The rook's on c7.
So rook check, king g2, rook, bishop check,
Yeah.
king f3, rook d1. The bishop stops. Oh, I see.
I'm saying the pawn
because
is there.
there's no mate.
Yeah,
if we trade bishops.
Exactly.
Oh, good point. So that's why the pawn is on b5.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, also, I don't think there's any way to start this puzzle other than this, and there's not much to do other than that.
Exactly.
I would at least consider g4, but
Me too.
you can always play f3 or something.
Right.
Which game was that, Yasser, that you had this in? Or
I don't remember. It was you see, one of the problems in my practice is so many of my games are missing from the database.
Oh, okay.
I played in many I was raised on opens in the 70s and 80s. And that was as long before databases were ever, being recorded and things like that. I would play 5 games. It's amazing. I played 5 tournament games in one weekend. That was just standard. 3 games on Saturday.
Yeah,
and 2
that's
games
insane.
on Sunday.
That
was
insane.
just the standard stuff. And these were long games too. These were like 4 and 5 hour games, and I'd usually get to the club at like about say 9-10 in the morning, and I'd be there till midnight and come back the next day for a repeat. Amazing. Sorry, do you have something else than rook b1 and bishop f5?
I was just showing showing the lines with rook takes f7 because it is a hanging pawn with check, but obviously it doesn't really deter us. So
no,
I think I feel pretty good about this, Yasser.
But again, I'm feeling it like it's a bit
too easy for the level.
For the level.
Thanks, Jules, for the raid.
Very nice move. I mean, you...
Exactly. I don't think it's totally obvious.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jules. Shout out Jules Gambit. We just got another raid, Yasser.
We got Ben Feingold dropped in on us, and
Chess.com rated earlier.
Sweet.
Much earlier today.
Let's go.
We're just on a puzzles run here, Jules. Our team's our team's expanding though. Like Tanty might show up, and then we can never get anything wrong. Like the more people we add, I feel like we're getting more big brain.
The brain power keeps getting the Borg. We will assimilate anyone who walks in this room. No, Eric, please stay away. Don't jinx us, Eric. Stay.
Oh, that's hilarious. Is that Jules' emote? Chad, sir.
Chad, sir.
It's like a Chad Yasser Sarah one.
Damn. It's like a combination.
This is your.
That was the tennis. That was the tennis with Robert Byrne.
But was that the Sports Illustrated?
I think so too. Yeah. Right.
Yes, I like this emote.
Yeah.
Great emote.
The crazy thing about the Sports...
Shall I...
Yes, please. Let's go. The crazy thing about the Sports Illustrated is in the same magazine that I appeared, so did Andre the Giant. They did a big spread on him as well. And I found his article 10 times better than my own. But one of the things in the article of Andre the Giant is this idea that he took off his wedding band, his wedding ring, and you could pass a silver $1 American coin, which is a huge coin, through the ring.
Wow.
Like how big his hands were. It's like, what? What are we doing? What's going on?
Well, it's kind of a forced first move.
What's forced about the first move?
That we have to take the rook.
That's pretty forcing. That pawn on a6 is a real bummer.
It is.
It's a real bummer.
A Debbie Downer.
So this is a game we win by by seizing the defensive.
Yeah.
Okay, break it down. For what do you pick up on this?
Well,
Aman,
queen b4 makes the initial threat.
Okay.
I feel like if we...
And you're not running anywhere. Queen takes h1. Queen b4, king d7 to escape mate on e7. Walks into knight e5, which hurts your feelings.
Sit back down, boy.
Get back. So you were looking at queen takes.
Yeah, queen b4. I was saying like either c5 or f6. Those are the...
Well, c5 gives you this great option of trying to castle short.
Yep.
So c5, knight d6 check, continue your line.
No, I guess we would go here.
King f8.
Takes b6.
I'd be scared. I'd be sweating.
But if king d7, knight e5.
Oh, yeah. Queen takes b6 and knight e5, I'd be even more scared.
So f6? I do like the idea of running there.
Yeah. So queen b4, f6. That feels...
Yeah, that feels pretty right.
Better. c5, knight d6. I mean, first of all, hurts the time.
First of all, let me start by taking so we don't waste time.
Yes.
They're just going to play queen f4 and we're going to waste it an
hour.
Okay.
Good for you. Okay, we got that. And we really only have two choices. We're being faced with queen e7 mate. And we're getting an f6. So yeah. So we're looking at f6, and the suggestion might be if we play f6, knight f6 might be a problem. f6, knight f6, well, we would take that. Bishop takes, and now what are we going to do about queen e7? Now we have to play c5. No ifs, ands, or buts anymore. We in for a penny.
But that feels much better because there's no knight d6 coming. Like to play c5 then feels better than initially.
Well, we won a piece, but aren't we hanging our faces? I mean,
yeah.
The rook is hanging, and after queen takes.
First of all, I don't like this position. I'd rather play white.
Right? Like this is something like we're.
I don't care about the evaluation. I think white wins 8 times out of 10.
And then practical chess, right? So, but that's a great point by the.
Why is everyone
F6,
talking about
knight takes f6?
Why is everyone talking about knight takes f6, king f7?
Knight e5 check and sit down.
No, but Yasser, knight e5 is mate.
Yeah.
I know. I agree.
It's literally checkmate. You guys are fucking trolling.
Checkmate. My buddy Jeremy Silman calls me up one day. We have we share a great fondness for Japanese samurai movies.
Love those.
Great stuff. Especially the old Akira Kurosawa samurai movies. Anyway, he calls me. He says, "You've got to see Shaolin Soccer." Like what? Yeah, Shaolin Soccer, man. It's like the greatest martial arts movie I've seen in 20 years. You're kidding. I mean, just the title itself is like ridiculous. No, man, rent the video. So, like a dutiful, good guy, I go and rent the video. And it starts terribly. Like, it's really, really, really bad. 30 minutes into the video is like even worse. The video is terrible from start to finish. It's just like a worst movie ever. So I called Jeremy back and said, "Dude, man, this movie was awful." He goes, "Yeah, I know. It was terrible. I put 2 hours into it and I wanted you to suffer as well."
Oh, man.
What? That's here.
Wow. I
mean, what are friends for, right?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Damn. Okay.
I'm liking c5, knight d6, king here, queen there, bishop d7. I'm liking it more and more. I still need to justify it, but
okay, I understand you have bishop b5 check, but take me through it some more. I go knight e5, hitting the bishop. Like that. That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, knight e5, then I want to go queen takes g2,
Queen b7.
The training has been working, but I feel like we've lost control.
Yeah, queen b7 is far more disturbing.
Yeah, you got queen b7. C5, knight D6. We're hitting
here, and then C5 was what we were looking at as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And we went queen B6, and we thought we might be hanging our faces, but maybe there is where we're D8 is. I have castles.
Oh, wow.
F6. F6, knight F6, GF6.
Castles.
Bishop F6, C5, queen B6. We talked about C5 allowing castles.
Queen B6 castles is winning on the spot.
Stopping mate on D8.
Sweet! Winning immediately.
Right.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, because this seems...
Call me a genius. Thank you.
This seems insufficient, yeah. C5's not good enough.
Yeah.
F6. C5. Castle.
Yeah.
And
let's do it.
Bishop F6 first is, I guess you can still even maybe do the, no, you can't do the same thing.
Well, the problem with F6 in this position, okay, the problem with F6, Bishop F6, is I think you're giving black the opportunity to go Bishop E7. If you go Bishop G7, castle's long.
Sorry, what?
F6.
Well, there's a mate. Of course. So, yeah, you have to take it.
It's forcing.
And then King F7.
I don't like King F7. I'm afraid I'm walking into knight E5 check in a brutal way.
Yeah, but I'll take. That it's the queen isn't looking very dangerous to me. That's all.
Okay.
Like.
Understood.
No entry. This guy's in the way.
I'm with F6. I don't like C5.
Yeah,
I don't like C5
better, for sure. It looks better, but
pull it. Ooh.
Well,
no choice here.
We're not the chat, so
no choice on this one. And again, no choice on this one.
We want to do
C5.
this.
C5 is box. Nasty.
Trying to get us on the old pre-mover.
The old pre-mover. Okay. That was fair. Wow. I mean, it didn't stop. But we've got Rook F8. Rook F8.
Even winning this game doesn't feel good as black. Like, I didn't have as much fun as white. This is depressing.
White had all the fun in this game.
This is depressing.
Well,
I was looking at
A5.
Yeah, I was looking at A5, but Queen B5, King F7. Is that the line?
No, can't be. Maybe
because Bishop A6 is a.
Well, that's the monster threat. I thought Rook F8. I thought Rook F8, but only after a half second I saw A5 also as an option. Here's a problem, guys. We actually have two really good moves.
Queen A4.
Right. In that case, Bishop D7 walks into C6. And we still don't have castle short.
That's correct.
Right.
Although we could play B5 there, but then I don't know, Queen E4.
Okay, so just a second. How is white meeting Rook F8? Help me on that one. Queen takes B6. Oh, that can't be right.
Maybe this?
Take on F6. Dude, I'm a rook and an exchange up. I mean, didn't Edward already teach you the value of the pieces, the table values? What's a knight worth?
3.
A bishop.
It's controversial, I guess, but 3.
3. Rook. So I'm helping Aman count. I mean, nice. Rook F8. Rook F8. I don't think A5. A5 is
too fancy.
Too fancy. Your rook is hanging. Turn the
Rook
tables.
F8, Queen D4, and then just sack. Right?
Give me some.
No. I'm thinking Rook F8, Queen B4, Bishop D7. Give me that Bishop B5 check business.
Yep.
But I'm with you. I'm not getting a lot of joy and pleasure out of defending this very unpleasant position. Queen C1, Queen G2, the Yasser move.
Yeah, it's a pawn, but
grabbing a pawn. Holy smokes, that's a damn good move.
why?
Because bishop b7, and it's my turn.
No, but that's not like, I mean, 94.
Castles?
No, but like bishop e5. The point is, like, now the material is very reasonable for white.
Queen g2, I'd probably move the c-pawn somewhere, right? e6. Oh, but then a rook a7.
Castle's short.
You can't
No,
castle.
queen
though.
g4.
You can't castle.
Oh,
Maybe
too
cb6.
bad.
Yeah. You could try it and see if they don't
Right.
correct you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't like queen g2. I think
No.
rook f8 is too sensible. Rook f8. Yeah, what's wrong with rook f8? Thank you, Henry. Come on.
Yeah, we should refute rook f8 if possible.
Yeah, rook f8.
Oh yeah, very sensible.
Just too much material.
Exactly.
What if we castle short now? Then we get
Queen
embarrassed.
g4 is the embarrassing. It's like a smack of reality, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we need rook f8, which is the fake castle. Imagine in the game you go rook f8,
Eight.
king g8,
Right.
and then they correct you and say, sorry, you have to move your rook. Oh, okay, rook f8.
Okay, good. Let's go. Let's do it. That game rather quickly.
I would take that bishop. I hate that thing.
Hate that bishop.
But yeah, I mean, bishop d7, c6,
Bishop d7, c6. Right?
and queen d8 is a real threat.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, rook takes, queen check. I'm assuming we go king f7.
Yeah, because
I don't
I
want
want it to be my turn.
Exactly, so badly, actually. I can take the knight. Again, a very dissatisfying study. I mean, puzzle, I mean.
oh, I think you just take on g2 at the end.
Yeah, we should start with rook f6, though.
No, I'm saying here, and after we lose our rook, we just take that'll. I think that puts it away.
Is,
That's
queen d6 the move after king e7?
queen c6 check, king d7, queen d6
yeah.
check. Yeah, but do I run king f7, knight e5, king g8,
Queen d8.
queen d8? A couple of checks.
Yeah, okay.
Couple of checks only.
Maybe there's some knight g6 check at the end after queen g5.
Yeah, but the point is we're eliminating attackers along the way, right? We got rid of that guy.
I'm just
That
trying
one.
to find a perpetual, maybe.
No, yeah, that definitely didn't convince me.
Pet?
Well, this
No.
whole idea of king g7, king g8.
f8.
Yeah, but queen g5 and knight g6. That's what he was saying.
Ah.
I mean, that's a draw.
Okay, but I gotta eliminate. Some of these puzzles, by the way, do end in draws. It's crazy, but I gotta eliminate the bishop. I don't want to see queen d8 land on my doorstep. Right?
Yeah, it's not Tommy's comment running engine on Nokia from 1999.
Okay, that might be allowable. Unless it's like deep thought, right? Deep blue, sorry. You have a suggestion other than rook f6?
Well, after queen c6, there are many answers, right? Like, for example, king d8 might be a
And then
move.
queen d6 again, maybe.
Yeah, but rook takes f6, queen c6, then we can think. Do we like king e7? Do we like king d8?
Well, let's say at the beginning of the puzzle, we play queen h1 because
there
we're
was
not-
no choice.
but I mean, because
But is there not another choice?
no.
Oh, sorry.
You don't play queen h1 because you have no choice. You play queen h1 because you're sure that it's your move, and you're not sure about your opponent's next move. Here, rook f6 doesn't get us any more information because we know they're going to play queen c6. So I'm saying putting rook f6 on the board
doesn't give us
doesn't serve any other purpose than to make it easier to calculate.
Well, I'm hoping that the machine will say, rook f6, good job, well done, you guys did it great.
Okay. You want to put it in for that reason?
Correct.
So that our day might end earlier?
Earlier, right. Makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys. It makes sense to me.
Oh, no, Aman was hesitant. No.
I just went on a speech about why we don't do... I'm blaming Yasser on that one.
I'll take
was
the blame.
Horrific.
I'll take the blame.
That was so horrific.
I'll take the blame because rook f6. I didn't want to see queen d8, but obviously the machine likes bishop b7 to defend d8. Which is like,
no, but it's oh my goodness, it's disgusting to get wrong.
Oh yeah.
Especially because we had done so well with the whole f6.
Yeah, but I just mean you're so deep in the you're like pot committed to being right.
Oh, okay, that was shaken.
Now we're prone to getting this one wrong.
Right, like now we're on tilt.
Especially because it looks basic.
Right,
it really doesn't look. It really doesn't look tough at all.
Right, we're gonna get it. Queen c4 or queen a4.
Did they feed us a
trashy one?
No, but how is this not immediately over? By the way,
right, queen c4 and rook d8. I don't know. So queen c4. Let's try to figure this one out. Queen c4, rook d1, rook f1 to d1.
Yeah.
Rook doesn't matter. Rook a8 to d8.
Yeah.
Rook c1.
Here.
I mean, at least
here.
Try to make it difficult.
Here, other rook here.
Then we go rook takes d4.
Yeah.
And there's rook takes d1 mate. Okay, yeah. Oh man.
No, but I'm getting bad feeling. This was so easy.
Queen c4. Oh. I hated that previous one. We were on the defensive the whole game. We were on defensive the whole time. And we were thinking, like in a practical game, White's winning. And we have to find all of these incredible defensive moves. Yeah, just where's the challenge here? Oh, it must be with b3. Okay. No.
What?
Just take out bishop.
Well, the only thing I can see that's relevant is if you do this, obviously, that's rook is hanging in many lines, so it has to be this rook. But this is the obvious rook to use anyway.
Right. So queen c4, rook d1, rook d8.
Let's say this rook for a change.
And I was thinking b3, but that doesn't work because I just take it. Take the bishop. We're petrified that we're going to play the most obvious and visually winning move, queen c4, pinning the bishop to the queen, hitting the bishop once more with the rook on a8, and we fail. What's the difference between queen c4? Yes, that was what I had, the question. The difference between queen c4 and queen a4 is if we go queen a4, there's b2 to b4, as Aman is pointing out, which blocks the pin along the fourth rank.
Yep.
By the way, is that really 34-45 in terms of rating?
What?
The problem we failed on. I don't.
Yeah.
34-45.
Believable. I mean, these rings are inflated anyway.
Well, it's kind of like what Aman was saying. It's more like a poll. So, like, these problems have tricked so many people. And, like, this problem tricks more people than the problems that came before it. So the problems are I guess, graded on their ability to fool ourselves. Okay, I don't see a problem. You got to go queen c4. If queen
e5
c4
never does anything. Like the rook is so much better.
Exactly.
You need to hit the queen.
If queen c4 is a fail, then I mean, I gotta go to Tahiti and,
This is
and
crazy.
recover. There's no other. I have no choice.
This is crazy.
Right? Rook A8. Get that rook, which is rook takes. That was
Well, but
our easy
this
one.
is like basic.
Very strange.
It forces us. What? It forces us to find bishop takes d4?
That was 3,400.
No way.
What on earth?
Wait a minute. This one's too easy as well. Rook b3 check.
Yeah.
Rook takes b3. Queen takes a1. King b4. I guess this is where things get dicey.
Mm-hmm. A5, king c4.
So let Aman break it down for our
Well,
audience.
rook
Look what
b3,
we're facing.
There's no king a2.
Well, first of all, black is facing the fact that his queen is hanging. Second of all, black is facing the fact that the bishop on c6 is hanging with check, which would very likely produce a checkmate for white. So everything that we've got to do has got to start with check.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're looking at rook b3 as forced. Rook b3, rook takes b3. Queen takes a1. That rescues our queen with gain of tempo. And as you say, king b4.
Also, queen c6 is going to be made into no matter what.
Okay. So the king goes to b4. And our bishop, strangely enough, is actually doing a pretty good job at covering our king. So rook b3, queen a1, king b4, king b7. The king is blocking the rook from checking us so we can rescue our bishop,
Which is dominating the knight.
which, and very importantly, protects our king. And now we're ready to take the rook. The rook is kind of trapped on b3. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
Talk me down.
well, yeah. I think
Getting on it. Going downhill suddenly. I'm pedaling, guys.
yeah. So rook a3.
Okay, cool. Rook a3. Now, queen b2 check.
Yeah.
King. Oh,
A5.
I was for sure you were going to go king c4 so I could go rook. Rook c8. But here I'll just trade queens and run with my kingside majority.
Like queen
now.
b6.
Yeah.
And then play g4.
Worst comes to worst, not bad. Maybe even toss in a rook f6 to make sure that my bishop covers h1 on a glorious Sunday afternoon. I like it. Rook b3 looks
But anyway,
forced.
that's definitely forced.
Yeah, looks forced. Let's go.
This is a mindset of people who are ready to get one wrong.
Exactly.
I mean, there's definitely no moves here other than king. King
Exactly.
up, and that's not an option, and you never want to go here.
No.
A5 you
A5
could throw
is
in,
the game.
but
But then after king c4, we denied ourselves king
C4 is there.
b7.
Okay.
yeah.
I think we have to go king b7. No choice.
That's a friendlier move.
That's a much friendlier move.
Less
Now
calculation.
Now our king is safe.
So
on-
here, are they going to go here?
King e6 is a move as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
King a6 is actually a very real move because you're taking away king a5 options.
Maybe where to get people.
But here, let's say, I don't know, queen c7 or queen d6.
Yeah.
The reason why I like king a8 is it threatens
rook
rook b8
b8.
check.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas this move, as long as we guard b8,
Mhm.
black still doesn't have any threats.
Right.
Clear. Yeah. The obvious king a8 feels right.
Wait, but can we take her some time? I'm
Sure. I mean, I'm traumatized too, man. I mean,
This is how tilt works. I think it's in our favor to just be haphazard, because if we get one wrong, then we have even more liberty to be even quicker on the next one, because we care even less.
My God. So do we think the one we got wrong, it was bishop d7? Is that what
the chat was seemed very convinced that it was king f7.
Oh, right, yeah.
King f7, a move I really didn't put much consideration behind, I have to be honest.
I just saw the suggestions. I didn't think of king f7.
Wow. Okay, then I don't feel so bad. If that was the way we had to play, that's crazy to me. I mean, he could play c6, and he's threatening mate on e7, and if we take the bishop, we take our rook.
No, his queen's on b6.
The queen is already on b6, thank you.
Yeah, because we were worried about queen d8.
That's correct.
So king f7 makes a ton of sense. Because we're
queen
off
d8,
queen d8 and we're hitting the piece.
and we're also off of queen c6.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you listen to the chat?
No, I mean, I saw after, like, once we got it wrong, they were like, it was king f7.
Yeah, well, once we got it wrong, everybody jumped on board.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you missed it. Okay, I'm thinking king a8. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
King
Still traumatized, right?
Well, we're still trucking here.
Still trucking. I like that. That's from the Underground Comics and Mr. Natural. Are you familiar with the Underground Comics?
I think this is
Are you familiar with Mr. Natural?
bishop b7.
Bishop b7. I thought maybe Rick. No, I agree. That's what I thought.
Out to chat.
Okay. No,
Does anybody know who
Rook
Mr.
A3?
Natural is in terms
Could be
of
king a4 and then
comics?
Rick c8, I guess.
Fabulous Fury Brothers? Yes. Yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I just had to check on my cultural heritage there. What do you guys
Well, I'm wondering about, like, this doesn't convince me.
No, it doesn't.
So I was going to play bishop b7.
Which I love, because then you get to play rook c8 on your next turn as well.
Yeah.
You know, kick that queen away, and you got queen b2 check. And
So the only move is rook a3,
okay,
queen b2, king a4,
and
and then
rook c8.
rook c8.
So there. No, I'm just wondering after bishop b7
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
is probably didn't work, but knight d7. Let's try to
Take.
oh no, yeah, it can't work. Knight c5, but rook b8, knight d7, rook c8, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably need more than one answer.
Excuse me.
Bishop b7 has my vote.
Me too.
Has my vote.
Me
Mine
too.
too.
Instantly, you're done.
Yeah. Hey,
Come
congrats.
on. Yeah, get out.
That was an easy one. Huh?
Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, here immediately.
Mitch.
My gosh, my throat is gone. I'm looking at a bishop c5 line. Just because.
Well, I'm looking at like some sort of queen a5 business.
Exactly. You want to give him the business.
This looks like trash.
Kind of driving the king. The pawn on f6 is so powerful because the king is actually secured in both directions. Bishop
Yeah.
h6. Excuse me. Hot wings are recurring. It goes through cycles.
Queen a5, d6.
Yeah, queen a5 looks a little lame, unfortunately. But is that threatening
We're only
anything?
an exchange down.
Yeah, I'll take.
Take back the exchange.
somehow it doesn't feel like.
Yeah, the king is
You
not.
might have. Do you have rook g8 at the end there?
Okay.
Queen here, here, here.
The bishop.
You were gonna say king e8 instead of bishop f3.
Sorry, what?
Were you gonna say queen after queen g5 maybe king e8? Trying to keep the rook.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what I feel confident in. I feel confident in the following tactic being a part of the answer. So something like queen here threatens this.
Yeah.
So like if you defend it like this, you
Yes.
check here, rook g8
Ooh.
takes, bishop h6 will win, and takes king h7, bishop e4 was also mate.
Nice.
So I'm confident that
That's part of
that's
the solution.
part of the solution. And queen c3,
With the same threat of bishop c5 looks really strong.
but then it's like, why doesn't queen c1 work? So that's what I'm not sure about.
Queen c3, queen c6, queen b4 check. If you go queen c1, queen c6, you don't have queen b4 check picking up the bishop. So maybe that's why queen c3 is superior to queen c1.
Does it pick up the bishop?
Isn't it? Sorry. Something. C1. Not threatening 8. Ah. Wow. Okay, sorry.
Queen c3, queen c6.
Right?
After rook c1 there, what's the move?
Yeah, I was
Here?
afraid of
Yeah.
bishop takes f3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
a mate on e7. But I like the geometry of what you were suggesting with queen c8 check and
Mm-hmm.
rook g8. Very, very beautiful. Also something that we had to reject, or not fall for rather. Bishop takes d3, bishop takes e4, rook takes e4, bishop c5, queen c5, queen d3. Then you just place queen to d. Thank you. Yeah. Rick a lot. Now we're talking. Yes, please.
Oh, I just realized because we played your weird little
My weird
piss jug guy
piss
that
bucket.
that the music didn't go back on. So it's been a very like
Disturbingly quiet.
yes, exactly experience, which is probably
Disturbingly
it's
quiet.
probably contributed, Yasser, once again to our results. The lack of music. The lack of music once again.
We found the culprit before. We can do it again.
Yep.
Whoa. Okay, come on. If I had this in a game, this exact position, I think I would find myself drawn to rook c1 and queen c3 as my initial candidate moves. For some reason, queen a5, I didn't feel like the threat of queen g5 and g7 was so severe that I would want to spend tempi bringing my queen to g5.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's something about rook c1 and queen c3 that I find more attractive this threat, checking on the back rank and playing bishop c5.
And what happens after rook c1?
Right, and those, I'm just saying that I find those to be my two best candidate moves. Yep. Third, queen a5. I didn't think that queen g5 was, severe enough. Queen a5, b6, queen g5. We started to think about king e8. We started to think about bishop f3. And it wasn't like white absolutely positively winning in those cases.
Very interesting position.
Truly.
Now we're on the attacking side at least, so we're having the fun.
Yeah. We're material down. Yay. Yay. So once again, we're looking at queen c3 and queen c6. Right? Don't we feel like that's like the best chance?
Yeah.
Queen c3, queen c6.
Is queen c3, king e8 a move?
Wow. Kinda yes. I'm not sure. I was about to make the suggestion that queen c3, queen c6, queen d4 almost works. Bishop f3, queen d8 check, but rook e8. Forgot about bishop c5 check is not. Okay, I feel myself fading.
So that gives more power to maybe rook c1 if king e8 is the move. If king e8 works after queen c3.
Right. Yeah. Dylan, you're the best, man. I don't know. I deserve such great treatment.
Because you're talking.
I'm trying to talk. It's not easy.
I also don't know why you.
You being treated. Like, this is so rare.
Do you need anything, Aman?
No.
Folks normally just come over and eat you out of house and home. They don't actually come and give you something, and here's for your cold. Like you can do it. You can recover. They're like,
Yeah, I mean, rook c1 feels so strange. Move the rook off the g file, but at least it actually has a real threat.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you that with the rook on the g file, you're always dreaming of the opportunity of bishop c5 and queen h6 check, and then the rook gets to go.
So if you go rook c1 and I take the bishop, you go bishop c5. That's definitely winning, right?
It's not definitely winning
Because
queen takes c5.
Yeah,
and rook h1,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and that pawn on d2 is still an issue, right?
but are we supposed to assume that stuff like that is winning?
I wouldn't make such an assumption. I really would not. No, I'm not trying to be facetious or anything like that.
Yeah, rook takes f6 at the end for black. And
Yeah,
then,
it's like,
what do you even do?
Yeah, right. I'm not convinced that.
But the thing is, if you're not convinced by that, then rook c1 takes. If you're not convinced by this, then you almost have to rule rook c1 out immediately.
Yes, correct. Which again leads us to queen c3. How about the chat? Chat like something other than queen c3? What are you seeing? Rook c1, bishop f3, bishop c5, rook h1. Precisely, Henry. You got it precisely right. That's our problem. c3. If queen c6, you can go queen b4 check. That was actually our main line. Queen c3, queen c6, queen b4 check, and we were looking at king e8, I believe. And then we were going rook c1, and we were pondering the mysteries of the universe.
But wait, but rook c1 isn't. You just take the bishop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, rook c1 is
I
not
think
good.
that's why we.
But is there even anything here? Did we even have a positive conclusion? Because I can't remember one.
Well, okay, here's a thought, at least. The queen c3, queen c6, queen a3 check, king e8, bishop takes e4. You take with the rook, I go queen takes d3. I'm an exchange down, but your king is loosey-goosey. But I didn't find the refutation the queen takes e4, which will give you rook h1 ideas. So queen c3, queen c6, queen b check, king e8.
Unless we're missing like a big resource here, this doesn't feel great.
Okay, but continue the line with bishop e4. Rook g. I'm fading. I'm fading. I can feel it.
Oh no.
We just need to get to 69, Yasser.
99.
69 is a good place to call it for one day.
anymore.
That's a day's work.
Yeah, but we got that strike, man. That strike was just evil.
Oh, we got it now, did we?
I take it. I take it. I'll take it. Put that one on my guy. Weekend. By the way, the Dutch have this great word. When you go into a restaurant, you had a nice meal, and now it's time for the check. They say, "Can I have the check?" They're not really sure what you're asking. But if you say, "Can I have the reckoning?" The reckoning, you know, like the day of reckoning, you know?
Yeah,
the reckoning.
I like that word.
Then comes immediately the damage.
You remember that, Aman, from your days in
Oh?
The
reckoning?
I never got a chance to ask for the reckoning.
No, everybody was picking up checks for you because you were, you know.
No, I mean,
A
I
good
never got
guy.
a chance to, like, use that word. I think I heard it from Yasser after my time there.
Ah, reckoning. It always cracks me up, makes me laugh. The reckoning. Queen c3, queen c6, bishop c5 check, king e8, bishop e4. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not impressed.
I'm not impressed.
What? Wait, no, nothing. I mean, the only, like with queen c1, the only thing you have there is after queen c6, you can take on e4. But I thought that, you know, then you don't have queen c1, you can't trade the queen. So
Exactly.
but there's rook e4. There you don't have the.
Just picking back the pawn. We're stumped. We're stumped. Queen c1, queen c6.
I mean, it reminds me of that queen h4 problem. We weren't considering the queen move. Maybe we should look at, I don't know, more queen moves.
The initial move, I think, was
A5,
queen
right?
a5.
Right.
b6. Can we do something else here, Aman, in that moment? Because no, bishop h6 doesn't really make any sense, right? Rook takes h6. Queen g5, you always have rook g6.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Why is bishop h6 ruled out? Well, why is bishop h6 ruled in? Bishop h6, king e8. What's the big idea?
We're fearful that if the king goes to e8, the pawn on f6 loses its potency, and the bishop on h6 will be under attack. So we feel that we don't gain enough with a check. And furthermore, our goal was maybe to be able to play bishop c5 in many cases to skewer the queen, which is why queen c3, rook c1, queen a5 popped immediately to mind.
And rook c1, just bishop takes f3.
Wait, queen a5, b6. Can we play queen takes a6? Did we get that tactic that you were talking about?
Bishop takes f3.
Oh, but now you don't have the bishop e4. Yeah, okay. I think you already talked about this.
Sorry, what?
I was trying to get that tactic that you mentioned.
The back rank.
Yeah,
queen
but
c8 check stuff.
But yeah, so queen a5, b6, queen takes a6. But just bishop takes f3.
There's no queen c8 check and bishop c5 business.
Well, I was thinking the rook g8 thing, but there you can play king takes g8. Oh, but you have bishop h6 first. You have bishop h6 first, and then you rook g8, king g8, queen e8, king h7, queen takes f7.
There's queen f8 though.
Ah, crap.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.